It was scary. We were lost for a little bit. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rewind, episode number 35 for Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. My name is Marty Sleva, and I am joined by Darren Mooney and Jack Packard. Producer Eric, sitting this one out. Not feeling too well this morning. Send your love and your silly images to Eric over in the Discord. But we'll have a great show for you today. Sans any video goofs. I'm incapable of making video goofs. I don't understand how to goof. I don't even know how you put.
You don't understand how to digitally goof. Eric is the master of digital
yes.
goof.
Of true digital goofings. Yeah, and that's why also there was no intro to the podcast. Eric sent me a file. I didn't know what to do with it. It was like an MP9, and I'm like, I was like, they make MP9s now. It was incredible. But yeah, we got a great show for you today.
MP3s together, you know?
It's just a triforce of MP3s. We're gonna chat, as you can see in our main topic, about the new Knives Out film from Rian Johnson called Wake Up Dead Man, out in theaters now, coming to Netflix soon. We'll have a largely non-spoiler talk about it, just because obviously a lot of folks probably won't be seeing it for a little bit, but we'll let you know if it's worth checking out on Netflix when it hits there. And I also wanted to touch on a bunch of random news bits that have come out the last few days that is making me question, do I just not understand how the world works? And I'm starting more and more. I feel like in 2025, every week, I'm just like, oh, what I thought I understood is way less than I actually understand. It's just like everything's confusing. I think everything's confusing, and I truly don't know how the world works.
That's Marty. That is just called aging, and eventually
aging.
you just have to kind of let it wash over you and accept that you will never know as much as you once did, and more of it goes away every day.
Sure. Which is fine.
I mean, I do feel like I'm more confused than my dad was at my age. Like when I do occasionally check in with my dad, and I'm like, so when you were in your mid-30s, were you this confused by everything happening all at once? Like, nope, this is a new thing. This is all new.
So I listed 4 topics, and they are Mad Men in 4K leaves in the puke man. Amazon just says fuck it and starts dubbing anime and AI. Kill Bill canonical stories in Fortnite, and Zootopia is the second biggest American movie in Chinese history.
Also worth raising, Deadpool and Wolverine may not have made a profit, or may only have made $4 million in profit.
But is that also the Men in Black thing, where it's like, where's this money going? Like, Men in Black still hasn't made a profit? And I'm like, I don't think that's true.
Like Forrest Gump is technically still in the red.
Yeah,
so they don't have to pay the author a cent.
That's all. Yeah, that's all the bullshit. You've talked about that before, Darren. The like bullshit kind of. What's the term for it? The like, is it like fixing the numbers or whatever in Hollywood?
Hollywood accounting.
Yeah, Hollywood accounting. Exactly. Where it's well, we can't actually pay these royalties because we still haven't made a profit, even though Men in Black made $1 billion fucking dollars on VHS, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah, truly. So what was the, really quick, what was the, I didn't actually read the Deadpool Wolverine thing. What was that?
Oh, it's just that it's officially like the 4th most expensive movie of all time that cost somewhere in the region of like $567 million. And therefore, if you multiply that by 2.5, which is the standard amount of money that a movie needs to make in order to turn a profit in Hollywood, you end up just $4 million shy of what its total gross was as the biggest movie of last year.
Yeah.
Which is like, we're officially in Cleopatra territory now, where the biggest movie of the year is still possibly not making money for the studio.
As a dedicated, I'm going to say dedicated hater of Deadpool Wolverine, it would make me so happy if it lost money. I am here for the Schadenfreude. I want to see that being the poster child for failure.
I mean, listen, you're not going to get a lot of defense out of us.
If that happens, what does it say about the industry?
What doesn't lose money?
How screwed is the industry? If that's right?
Are the only things that make money Conjuring movies now? Is that the only surefire way to make money?
It's something that I obviously we're preaching to the choir here, as we're movie heads on a podcast talking about movies, talking to people who like movies, and so us saying you should make smaller, more interesting movies is preaching to the choir. But truly, yes, the Conjuring movies make money. Make smaller, more interesting movies. if Deadpool versus Wolverine can be the poster child for what's wrong with Hollywood, that's great.
We got to
Like,
find more
overblown
real life
with
con artists and turn them into our superheroes, like the Warren family. That's the only thing I'm taking from this. Yeah, touching on these stories quick. So Mad Men got remastered in 4K for an HBO streaming release. And people are like, great, one of the greatest television series of all time on HBO. People watch it. The first thing people notice is the pilot episode begins with a title card that's like what Mad Men were, like the advertising agency on Madison Avenue and everything. Apparently that title card is blank, just doesn't exist in the 4K version. So the very first image of the show just doesn't appear. But then people have gotten to the episode where there's a great moment where Don Draper kind of tricks Roger into having to walk up the stairs to their office, and it's like 50 flights of stairs or whatever, after eating a boozy shrimp cocktail lunch. And they get into the office to meet with some prospective clients, and Roger vomits on the floor. And it's a very funny goof, a very memorable goof. However, in this 4K version, they did not include the like edited version of the shot, which removed the people just wearing ball caps and controlling the puke hose right behind the actors. And so that scene is occurring
in the corner, the right-hand side of the screen as it's playing.
There's just like two Teamsters like controlling a puke pump like a Mario Party mini game. And it's just, I love it, there. And this is on HBO. And this is how we treat one of our most beloved television series of the past 20 years. Like, just no one gives a shit anymore about anything.
Also, the fact that everybody involved in that is going to be fired when the company is bought by Paramount or Netflix. So, like, nobody's like at the top of their game, being like, "I'm goal oriented right now, and I'm entirely all in on the Netflix streaming, sorry, the HBO streaming project." I do sort of say I found it really interesting, the cycle of discussion where like it did bring Mad Men back into the consciousness, where there was like a day of conversation around like Mad Men as a show, why it was so important, things like, you know, the Pete being secretly progressive, the minstrel show at the wedding, like people were actually talking about Mad Men, and it was so fun that you could see the rewatch hit that episode in real time, because as soon as you hit the two Teamsters operating the puke cannon, it's like the discourse takes a very sharp turn.
So was this a secret marketing ploy a la Starbucks cup?
Oh no.
In which HBO said, you know what gave us a lot of traction for Game of Thrones was Starbucks cup. Obviously that was a goof, that was a mistake, but we got cycles on social media. They were doing nothing but talking about our show. What if we add something like that into Mad Men? We can always take it out later. We can always fix it later. But what if we add something to get Mad Men talked about again?
See, these are fun conspiracy theories. I like these conspiracy theories. Like that the Wicked marketing team secretly put that old clip from the Macy's parade of the dude as SpongeBob that went viral over the weekend. What? Did any of that make sense to anyone? Darren, you had to. No. You know what I'm talking about,
recognize,
right?
I'm seeing a SpongeBob movie this weekend.
If one person in the audience knows what I'm talking about, then I appreciate that. No need to explain it, other than I think everything. I don't trust anything. I just don't trust the government.
But
that includes HBO.
That's the takeaway, right? That's the takeaway, right?
Your takeaway? Don't trust the government.
Love that we went from the two Teamsters operating the puke cannon to don't ever trust the government. I mean, I'm a big fan of the expansion of, like, is it Moore's Law? The idea that don't attribute to malice anything that could be credited to stupidity. I don't think that like the companies are smart enough or organized enough to pull this off. Like the amount of like meetings it would require somebody to raise their hand to go, I have figured out how Twitter works. And they're like,
that's fair. That is giving them a lot of credit.
This is true.
And we don't like doing that.
Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Fair. All right.
Sticking with zero credit, Amazon is now just using AI dubs for dubbed anime. Like, why? What's the point of hiring actors and doing anything well when we could just use AI voices to dub anime? So the subtitle version is still available of shows like Banana Fish. They said the latest season of Vinland Saga is also going to be AI dubbed. And this is also coming on the heels of Crunchyroll's under a lot of heat, which is the main anime streaming service, because they're using an AI service for subtitles now. And their subtitles are getting there is like an art to subtitles, not just in the translation and localization, but in literally how you display subtitles, the pacing of subtitles, subbing if something has a lot of text, subbing that text if it's important. If you've ever watched anything like a lot of anime will have Japanese text in the background, that should be subtitled because it's probably important. And so things like typesetting during Thal. Really.
So would you
Really
say that this is all very substandard work, Marty?
You can't see it, but I'm pointing at you because I'm proud of you. Whatever is the opposite of me not trusting the government, that's how I trust you.
It is worth noting, like, this has been the one of the selling points of AI for over a year. I think when they were talking about Shogun on the town, like Matt Maloney was talking to people, and they're like, yeah, in a year, Shogun would be like dubbed via AI. You would have an AI dub of the Japanese dialogue in Shogun, which would defeat the entire purpose of the Japanese dialogue in Shogun. And is it the Samurai Assassin? There was a recent, maybe it's Samurai Games. There was a recent Netflix show where they did the dubbing, whether it was AI or whether it was just CGI, but where they dubbed it in English and then CGI'd the lips of the actors. The lips.
I think that was the Samurai. I haven't watched it, but that's the one that's almost like Squid Game Samurai.
But with Samurai,
yeah. I saw it, where I get all my media recommendations. Kojima liked
right?
it. Kojima liked it, so that's why I know about it.
Yeah.
My close.
What if we take these two flavors and throw them together?
Yeah.
But it is, you can see the lips, and it's really uncanny because it's like those old Conan O'Brien bits where he would interview like celebrities and stuff, but like it's meant to be serious, which is very disconcerting.
Yeah.
It's the most upsetting part. As someone, here at Second Wind, we have tried in the past many times to make subtitles, specifically for my show, Adventure is Nigh, and it is a giant pain in the ass. It is a huge undertaking, subtitles. So I very much understand why a company would be looking to this. The problem here is that general concept of like enshittification, right? Or shrinkflation of like, oh, if we shave a little more chocolate off of this Hershey's bar, we can save hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout the year, which is going to make our profits look better. Instead of us at the top, our corporate CEO maybe just taking not as big a raise as they were expecting. And it's the same with Crunchyroll, it's the same with Netflix, it's the same with any of these things. It's just the people on top hoarding more money and taking that money away from the people who make the thing that make them all the money. Absolutely goddamn despicable. And that's me understanding how hard it is to do subtitles.
But even like the implication in that, which is like, how much will the audience take? Like, what level of enshittification will we give the audience before there's pushback? How far can we push this before we get a no from them? Like, how short can we make the Hershey's bar? How bad can we make the dubbing? Like, there is a real kind of like testing of the waters, and like the bar is being moved, and it's going to end up moved no matter where it ends up. But it's really depressing. That's just like, push as hard as you can. Yeah, I think we can get another 10% off this, which is the bleakest timeline.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, the interchangeable natures of CEOs, they truly have no stake in any of this. They're like, if it, for them, if they can make it shitty during their tenure, they leave with a bunch of money and move on to the next thing and leave it for the next guy to figure out. And of course, it's going to be a guy.
Unless you're Bob Iger, which in case you like just get out the door at the perfect moment, leave your successor to make a huge mess, and then are like, hold on, old Bob stepping right back in. Got away clean, I did, but that's not enough for me.
And then he comes back, he's like, oh shit, even I can't fix this. This isn't good. Oh, it just turns out no one cares about Star Wars anymore.
We killed it.
Yeah.
Right. No, and of course, like, in general, we should gray area AI usage in general, like, for Adventures Nigh, we use Premiere Pro's auto-generated captions, and then we personally go back and fix all of the mistake that the auto-generated captions make, because auto-generated captions fuck up so much. And that's the process. But AI is used somewhere within the process, but then a human comes around and fixes it. So obviously not all AI is bad. like shucking out humans in order to make your business more profitable is the bad thing, not necessarily AI.
Yep.
Like my siblings work in medicine, and they're like, the most exciting thing about AI 4 years ago was the idea of it being used to trace like cancer markers and map the human genome in ways that is impossible for a human being to do. And then obviously you validate all of that, as you say, like it prints out this data. Somebody looks at it, goes, yeah, that's right, and we test it and we do the regular trial process. But it is so insane to me that it's like that is the potential of AI, is we could use it to like get closer to curing cancer, and instead it's like, what if we make a bunch of people in entertainment unemployed?
Yeah.
Huh?
Look at this look at this movie I made. You're like, that's literally just Pedro Pascal from The Last of Us. You didn't make anything. You just stole that man from the other thing.
What if we drained an entire reservoir to make a Coca-Cola commercial?
Yeah, exactly. That looks shittier than the ones when I was a child. Yeah.
It's that Spider-Man meme, but I don't want to cure cancer. I just want to fire people.
Sticking with everything being weird, and I don't want to say terrible yet because I have not watched this, so I cannot judge it yet. There is an official, canonical new chapter to Kill Bill inside the video game Fortnite. Fortnite had a big, I'm assuming as synergy with the Whole Bloody Affair releasing in theaters in a week or two. That's the final, like the combination of Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, which I'm excited to see, even though it's like 4.5 hours, but I haven't seen those movies in a while. And
with 7 minutes of additional footage as well, I believe.
Is that this? I think that's this. That is Yuki's.
Can you imagine?
No, that's.
Can you imagine? Is that not the? I thought that was a separate animated sequence. I thought it was like another anime, like the flashback to Lucy Liu's origins. Oh, okay. You're gonna sit down a bunch of.
You can't see my face right now. It is this. They filmed in Unreal Engine 5 a chapter that was in the first draft of Kill Bill Volume 1, where Yuki, who's like the sister of Gogo. Gogo's the girl with the ball and chain that the bride kills in the House of Blue Leaves. The sister wants to get revenge on Uma Thurman. And so they filmed that inside of Unreal Engine 5 and premiered it inside of Fortnite. And that is like in that there was like a time in Fortnite you could go to a place and watch this movie. And then that short film is going to be added to the theatrical cut of the final, the Whole Bloody Affair.
So just to put this in perspective, right? This is something cinephiles have waited for at this stage 21 years. It played at Cannes for a week in like 2004. The only copies of this that have been seen in the wild since have French subtitles, because the only copy of this that exists was made for Cannes. It is the holy grail for an entire generation of cinephiles. So Marty, you're telling me they go to their 35mm screenings in their comfy cinemas, paying premier prices for it, put the feet up, see the lovely restored, pristine classic print of Kill Bill Volume 1 that comes to an end, and then a Fortnite clip plays, and then Kill Bill Volume 2 just picks up where it left off. That's
pretty much
kind of a punchline. That's something from the studio. That is like a joke from the studio.
To me, the greatest punchline there is everyone who takes Tarantino so goddamn seriously. This is what you get.
He's an artist. He won't make his last movie because he said he could only make 10 movies. I'm like, but you'll do this?
But he'll put it in Fortnite.
Listen, to be honest, who amongst us has it? Paul Thomas Anderson used Fortnite for One Battle After Another. Christopher Nolan used Fortnite for Tenet. Like, we don't need to say finding out how Palpatine
Rise
returned.
of Skywalker
Probably doesn't need to be in that same breath with those other artists, but yeah.
It is fun to imagine somebody explaining Fortnite to like Christopher Nolan, like who famously doesn't have a mobile phone of his own.
It's always funny to listen to. I know, Darren, you also listen to The Big Picture, the Ringer movie podcast, and the two of them, huge cinephiles, do not know anything about video games, but them having to talk about games more and more, A, because of stuff like Mario and Minecraft, B, because the Elden Ring movie is coming from Alex Garland, and then C, because of stuff like this, is hilarious, because it is literally like me trying to like explain quantum physics, where I'm like, I don't understand this. I just don't get it.
I mean, whatever about like Sean Fennessy, it's Miranda Dobbins who has made it very clear not that she doesn't know, but she doesn't want to learn, which I respect.
I respect
At a certain
being
point,
like, I know too much
knowledge.
Yeah, there's too much in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a mother to several children. This is
Yeah.
my career. I do not need another art form on top of this.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
I don't need to learn what chicken jockey is. And then just the last story, which we touched on earlier, is did any of us realize? I mean, Darren, I'm sure you knew, but I just didn't realize how big Zootopia was.
Like, it's huge, yeah, and it's huge in China as well.
It is
It's like
massive. It is
what they
literally
call it? Crazy Animal City, I believe, is the name.
That's
of the
a good
movie
name. They should have called it Crazy Animal City here, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But it was the second largest opening for any non-Chinese movie in China box office history after Avengers Endgame. Like, this movie is fucking massive. Did you get a chance to see this? From all accounts, it's good.
It is. It's pretty decent. Like, the first Zootopia is also pretty decent as well. Interestingly, it's marketed over here in Ireland as Zootropolis because for us, Zootopia is obviously the U2 album from the late 90s that everybody knows, remembers, and loves, where Bono played the character of Mephisto. This is where Eric would be doing like Trojan work in the photographs as I were narrating it to prove that this is not just a fever dream hallucination.
That was
Darren
truly
had.
a Mad Libs, like vintage Mad Libs.
Yeah, but no, they're absolutely massive. I think like they're both quite good. I think, and again, what's really interesting is they are both very clearly the work of people who love film, where the first one is very obviously like Chinatown. They're doing Chinatown, but with talking animals in the style of Disney. This one is much more, we're doing like Lethal Weapon, and Tango and Cash inexplicably is a sizable portion of this movie. But it's like we're doing big, dumb 80s sequel, like cop movie tropes.
Okay.
And it's hugely enjoyable. As somebody who's like, as we were talking about before we went on, somebody who enjoys puns, like, the Zootopia movies are very, very fun because they're mostly just references to things. They're surprisingly referential. There are references to like The Shining in this movie, which is delightful to me. But yeah, just a good time at the pictures. Not incredible, not mind-blowing, not the best movie of the year, not the best Disney animated movie in recent memory, but just a good time at the pictures that's well made, beautifully animated, has a really charming cast. And like, I do want to shout out, it is interesting that like how quickly Brian Cox from Succession became an archetype where like you can see a CGI or an animated character appear on screen. And I'm thinking like of Predator Daddy and Predator Badlands, but there is like a Lynx businessman in this movie who's obviously the bad guy who like owns the walls that control Zootropolis or whatever and has access to like all this money and power, and he's short and he's kind of rotund and he's big and he's hairy, and I'm like, that is a Brian Cox type Lynx. And it's really disconcerting when he opens his mouth and he sounds like David Strathern, who's this tall, skinny kind of...
That's not you. You're just wearing his mask.
Yeah. Stolen valor.
That is stolen Cox valor right there. I hope they continue. So if they took inspiration from Chinatown and then they moved into the 80s, inspiration from Lethal Weapon, that means the next movie, moving into the 90s, inspiration from Training Day. That bunny's gonna get wet on PCP. It's gonna be nuts.
Yes. I like that you just skip like the escalation of Say Black, like the long kiss goodnight or whatever.
Never heard of it.
Like,
there was only one cop movie after
Scout.
Lethal Weapon, and it was Training Day. Yeah, it took a while.
Yeah. And is Zootopia 4 just like end of watch with like bunny body cams?
Yes. Like harrowing, gritty body cam footage, but it's where you're kind of like, is this liberal or is this conservative? It's like dragged on concrete. You're like, what is this? I'm not sure what I'm watching right now.
Oh my god! They go into a crack den and they're all shooting up on horse.
Could you imagine? Should we stop this podcast and write this movie? You could just write sequels to movies, right? That's fine.
Yeah, write Zootopia 4, by the way. I like that. Just so we're one step ahead of the curve because we know they're already working on Zootopia 3. So we go into the meeting with Bob Iger. We're like, look, we know you already have guys on Zootopia 3, but hear us out here.
Listen,
4.
Not a terrible idea. Not a terrible idea. Yeah, so that was News Bits. What did we glean from it? The world's weird and I don't understand what's happening. Everything's scary. I don't like it anymore.
Yeah. The bits we gleaned from it are like none of us here play Fortnite.
Sure.
But Fortnite is a big thing and a lot of people play it. And so this is one of those, like, I think we talked about, I forget what we talked about before or during the podcast, but there was a point in which we talked about kind of like getting older and just letting the things you don't know wash over you. And this is just one of those, okay, I guess Fortnite is more popular than I can possibly understand because I don't care to. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, or maybe this is maybe this is how I was defending Five Nights at Freddy's, because I'm like, maybe this is a gateway movie, and kids who like this will then be like, let's watch some other horror movies and then watch some good horror movies. Maybe this will get the children into Tarantino, and they'll be like, now I need to see his 4 Rooms segment.
Yeah.
I can't wait for him to make his 10th movie when I'm 55, I guess. Also, like, we want to talk about like the Warner Brothers situation, which is just vague and depressing.
Yeah,
where it looks like it's either going to be swallowed by Paramount or it's going to be bought by Netflix, who they promise are going to release movies in theaters. We promise.
Yeah. Hey, to be fair, Wake Up Dead Man is in some theaters. It is not in theaters close to my house. It is in theaters I had to drive all the way across town for, and on one screen, but it is in a theater. Everything's bad.
It was incredibly bizarre seeing the Netflix at my local art house cinema.
Yeah. Everything's I mean, I guess Netflix is also, I saw tickets are going on sale for the Stranger Things finale in theaters. They're going to air it, which that makes sense. I've thought since like the Game of Thrones last season that they should have been airing these episodes in theaters as a way to like, not theaters only, but like, I don't know, people would get excited and want to watch kind of appointment event TV. You know, if the last episode of Stranger Things is 2 hours, I'm sure you could fill up a theater with people who want to see it on a big screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they've been doing that with The Chosen, which is like the Christian Jesus Christ TV show, where they will air the 2 episodes in theaters every like weekend that's on, and then 2 weeks later they'll air the next couple, and it quietly makes like $300,000, $400,000 every 2 weeks, which is absolutely insane. Over here, like they put the Doctor Who finales in theaters and stuff like that as well, and it does recently. Yeah. Like it is the wave of the future. They're talking about putting sports events in there as well. You've got concert films and stuff. Like there is a real sense of like, well, maybe theaters aren't gonna, maybe movies aren't going to be around forever, but we got these buildings with big screens in them that people like going to. So we may as well put something.
Let's put Fortnite in here. Kids like this.
You joke, but like the Odeon up at the Point, which is a lovely cinema, wonderful staff for anybody listening to this podcast who's thinking about frequenting a cinema up in the Irish Docklands area. But they rent out for video games. You can play video game tournaments on the biggest screen that they have, which is absolutely stunning and incredible. It gets good community outreach. Yeah,
shout out to the show, the Odeon.
I don't think we can say that.
Ireland's they call it Ireland's Oriental. Oriental's the name of the theater. Before that wasn't racist. The Oriental is the historic movie house that Jack was kind enough to hook us up with a nice behind the scenes visit when we were there for Adventure.
To see the projector and stuff.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah,
gorgeous. It's the place I love seeing movies at the most. Truly. I will drive past 3 other movie theaters to go to that theater.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a good one. Let's go for some. You want to go over some super chats before we jump into Wake Up Dead Man? Hell yeah.
Let's do that.
Thank you so much, everyone who's donated those super chats. Appreciate y'all. Nidoram right at the top. Thank you so much with a $10 dono. The 10th anniversary of the Leftovers episode International Assassin just passed. Which TV episodes have that standout legendary episode vibe, a la Twin Peaks Return, episode 8? That comes to mind. That was the God of Light episode.
Yeah, that's the stunning nuclear bomb detonation ripped a fabric in the wall of reality. Yeah, it's a phenomenal piece of television.
I know, Darren, you're a big Leftovers fan, as am I. International Assassin is one of the greatest episodes of TV ever made, I think.
It somehow has like a biometric scanner that reads a penis and gets better from there. It's like as soon as that appears, I'm like, this is the best episode TV ever made, and it's like, no, we're only getting started. It's incredible, and like the Leftovers as a TV show is incredible and would wholeheartedly recommend it. I mean, part of me is like just jump back and do like when TV used to be episodic. So you would have things like The Inner Light on Star Trek The Next Generation, where Picard lives an entire life. The Visitor on Star Trek Deep Space Nine would jump out to me. Any number of X-Files episodes. I'm very fond of Triangle, which is the one that's shot in long takes, where each of the long takes is exactly 10 minutes long because that's how much film reel there is, and that's the gap between commercial breaks. So it's actually like a really clever use of form. Or like Millennium did the Curse of Frank Black, which I watch every Halloween, which is just a stunning piece of television with Dean Winters in it. Like so many, and obviously all the Twilight Zones, like the To Serve Man is like you could point to literally any concept of the monsters who do on Maple Street. almost any Twilight Zone episode probably counts as well. Like so many great ones.
That was going to be my question is like, do we count something that, like the Twilight Zone or like Black Mirror, where it's like, oh, you can point to almost any of those episodes except for the pig fucking, and just be like, oh, this is a groundbreaking piece of television. But I don't think that counts. I think you need to choose like something that is part of an episodic series.
I know this isn't what you meant, Jack, but I just want to go back to, you could point to any episode of like Black Mirror apart from the pig fucking and go, that's groundbreaking. How much pig fucking is on your TV that you're like,
I mean, that might be the most groundbreaking. It's not good, but it might be the most groundbreking.
It's just a regular mundane piece of TV.
Touche.
Yeah. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Lost during this segment. The Constant's the one everyone always goes to, which is hard to argue with. I think a couple of season finales are also pretty amazing. The season 2 pilot, or just the pilot of Lost, is also great. Pluribus as a recent one. I think its pilot. I mean, we'll see. I don't want to make a judgment call before finishing the season, but that pilot really stuck with me. I rewatched it already a couple times.
Sure. I would. I know this is a bit of a go-to, but Blink, Doctor Who.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is anytime anyone is like, oh, I want to watch Doctor Who, what should I watch? Watch Blink, and that'll be your input. That's obviously that's quasi Twilight Zone-esque, but
yeah, so that's like the Doctor appears for like a total of 5 minutes in the entire episode.
We mentioned Thrones earlier. Like you could go to Battle of the Bastards, Reigns of Castamere. That might be like Reigns of Castamere might be, the Red Wedding might be like one of the biggest water cooler moments I remember from TV in the last 15 years.
That's a separate question though, because that's like a moment. The question is like, do you consider that whole episode to be like seismically important, or is it just the moment? It's like the Lannisters send the regard, and the moment the knife goes where the knife goes, because that is a incredible sequence, an incredible episode. But it wasn't like, I don't think people were talking about the whole episode as an object. So I'm wondering, like, does that count?
Yeah, that is, because there are. Like scenes or moments that you really like recall. Like even Mad Men people always bring up that's what the money's for, and I don't remember what else that episode was about. I think it's about an award show. Like they're working late at the office.
One where they're working like that's it, and that actually I think is a good episode.
But I don't know what like I can't remember the B plot of it. I do remember like that thing between Don and Peggy is remarkable. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like to me because one, because I'm an old man, and two, because I fucking love sitcoms. Like I think even back to the day of like Ross and Emily's wedding in Friends, when he said Rachel's name. Yeah. Oh, like, not just a wonderful moment, but a glorious episode, a travel episode, a wonderful moment in television.
Oh yeah, because and that's feature length as well. That was a double length episode if I remember correctly as well. Like like you Laurie on the plane and stuff as well.
Exactly. Yeah,
incredible stuff.
Incredible.
Trying to think, like so many good ones. I mean, the Homicide Life on, is it Homicide Life on the Street? I can't even remember what show this is from, but I think it might be Homicide Life on the Street, where Vincent D'Onofrio is stuck halfway under the train, and you have the whole thing.
He's like Winnie the Pooh.
He's Winnie the Poohing, but with a train instead of his dick.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is like, obviously,
what?
If they move
Winnie the Pooh with a dick. Wait, what? Wait a minute.
I feel like you're misunderstanding the concept of Winnie
Jack, you're not helping right now. You're just laughing. You're not helping clear this up.
First of all, Marty, you 100% Winnie the Pooh with your dick. I don't know, like, how you're
doing.
I'm imagining like Silence of the Lambs are just standing in front of the mirror going, anyway. My point is that he's a guy who's got hit by a train and the train is like crushing him. But if they move the train off him, he'll die. But also it's New York City and you need to get the trains running on time. And they have to like find his wife and stuff so he can have like a final conversation with his wife before he dies. It's an incredible episode of television. It's so weird that I can't even remember what show it's from. Was it Homicide, or was it like one of the Law and Orders? But it was
he was on Criminal Intent for a while, so I don't know if that's the one. But
no,
he
they
was
didn't
like a
write
star
off
of
his
that.
character. Yeah, they did that'd be a bit of a curveball to write out his character.
Also, if he was yelling about his girlfriend Vanessa, that was probably Daredevil.
That was Daredevil.
Vanessa, I got stuck under. I Winnie the Pooh, but it wasn't with my penis. It wasn't one of those.
Oh, but you know what? Like that's a more recent example, Marty, is like that Daredevil episode 2 or 3 with that featured the hallway fight. Obviously, like those early Daredevil episodes where we were getting, the gritty costume, but like that hallway fight was water cooler talk for weeks.
Yeah.
And in the streaming age as well, where like episodes don't really exist, so it's hard to kind of break them out.
Yeah.
Even more recently, like the Alien Earth episode where they're on the spaceship, where they do Alien and Alien Earth is a recent example of that for me.
Yeah.
Severance has a couple of them as well. Actually.
Yeah.
Like the one where, like any number, like again, so many of them. But
the Severance season 1 finale might be even.
Oh yeah,
that was incredible. Like the heli reveal and everything at the end.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, we're going to talk about him soon. Rian Johnson directed a couple episodes of Breaking Bad, Ozymandias and The Fly, that are both
people were
incredible.
perfectly chill about. Yeah,
The Fly,
perfectly normal.
Totally normal. Nothing weird happening. Rian Johnson definitely isn't a lightning rod for the weirdest of the weirdos. Yeah.
Seeing from the comments, it is Homicide: Life on the Street.
Congrats.
Gotcha. And the episode is called Subway.
So the episode is called Winnie the Poohin'. Great. Need around. That was a very beefy question. I liked it. Quintuple, thank you so much for a $5 dono. Nothing to add, so use this time to discuss a free topic of your choice. What is Winnie the Poohing?
It's when you're not wearing pants, but you are wearing.
It is not. Winnie the Poohing is where you get stuck in a hole looking for honey. I thought he got stuck in a train because Vincent D'Onofrio was looking for honey. I was thinking very like PG.
Did he have
nice.
like a subway on his head? Is that like he was just gonna wander around?
I don't know. I didn't know. And then you were like, "Oh, his body's been fucking bisected, and he's gonna die." And I'm like, "No, I feel bad."
Hold the subway. It's like pull him that way, and I'll pull the subway this way.
Winnie the Poohing is the same as Donald ducking. It's when you are wearing a T-shirt and you are naked from the waist down. That is Winnie the Poohing.
This house, Winnie the Poohing is getting stuck in a tree. It turns out everyone agrees with you guys and no one agrees with me. That's because you're all perverts. You're all perverts.
Yes,
every single one of you.
I've been trying to convince everyone that I'm a pervert for a long time. Finally, I'm getting some recognition.
Why won't anyone believe that I'm a pervert? That's good stuff. Nick Knoll, thank you so much for a $10 dono. I've always believed creative people can make a good movie out of anything, but we seem to be testing that theory pretty hard these days regarding Redler Media's What Are Next video out today. That was part 1 of 2. And then the second part, would you rather see a mediocre talent, directors, actors, etc., work with a cool new IP, or amazing talent forced to make a shitty cash grab movie a la Mario? Why do we have to have one or the other? Can't we have good people make good things?
Yeah. The problem with the question is, you kind of it's a leading question because you assume that the cash grab is going to be shitty. I think we have seen creative people use intellectual property and make an amazing movie, and we have seen mediocre people make a new IP and have it continue to be mediocre or bad. But there's a gradient of worlds in between that. You can see mediocre directors making amazing movies, both IP driven, both non-IP driven. You can see amazing talents making terrible movies, both IP driven and not IP driven. We just want to see good things regardless of where they come from.
Yeah, like 28 Years Later is one of my favorite movies of the year, and that is arguably an example. Now, obviously, it's a different thing because it's their own IP and stuff like that, and they created it or whatever. But that is, to me, like superior talent working with an IP that I wasn't yearning for 28 days later. Like I wasn't marking the calendar all those years that it never happened, going, when's my 28 days later legacy sequel going to arrive? And then it just arrives and it blows my socks off. Like I think it is entirely possible. I mean, I would also say like Matt Reeves' The Batman is an example of this, where it's like that could so easily have been something like The Flash, to pick an example of another movie that has Batman in it, but instead it ends up being a really superb piece of cinema, I think. You know, like I think it's possible to do these things. Yeah,
we bring up the difference between Andor and a bulk of the other Star Wars that's been made in the past 10 years.
Andor's a great example, where it's like in theory, if you told me like Tony Gilroy is going to make a Star Wars TV show, and you're like, okay, so what Star Wars TV shows are we talking about? Well, Book of Boba Fett, the third season of The Mandalorian, Ahsoka. It's like that doesn't inspire. I'm not like, well, good for Tony Gilroy, I guess.
And even when they were like, it's gonna be about this guy, and it's like the guy from Rogue One, you're like, really? You're gonna make a whole show about this guy?
It's gonna be a prequel to the prequel to Star Wars.
Probably don't need that.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, sure. And it turns out to be a masterpiece.
Pretty good stuff.
Right, and obviously, like the what are next, which is a phrase that I love so much. By the way, I get an immense amount of joy out of what are next. The it's but the extra cynical part of me wants to say, like, what are next has been happening for so long now. Why are we surprised anymore? Let's take a little moment to celebrate some new things that we got this year, particularly so, like, I'm thinking of the phenomenal horror we've gotten this year, 28 years later, like you said. Sure, it's IP, but it's IP from the same people. We got Sinners, we got Weapons.
Yeah.
Like, we got some amazing original movies this year. One battle after another. We talked about, like, we got some
Not
really
neat. Not based on anything at all, and certainly not anything in copyright.
Settle down.
No one's ever made a vampire but horny. This is new.
So, like, I think we still are getting new stuff. It is few and far between, but we get something like Knives Out, which, yes, is part of an IP, but it's a new IP that filmmakers and actors get to play in and make something new, and that's really nice.
Yeah, and that Rian Johnson seems to have full creative control over, except for when it comes to when the movie's out, where it could be shown. Aside from that, in making the movie, seems like he has full creative control.
Yeah.
By the way, it's like, if you're Warner Brothers looking at this and you're like, well, Netflix promised they'll keep releasing our movies in cinemas, you have to be looking at people like Rian Johnson who are like, yeah, they said they were going to release the movies in theaters.
Yeah.
They technically released the movies in theaters.
Yeah.
But also,
what if we didn't? Yeah. Yeah. Real nonsense. Nick, thank you so much for that, Nick. Noel Minduel, thank you so much for the $2 dono. Long Sleeves, Pac-Man, and Full Moon. What's cracking? Those are our nicknames. Long Sleeves, I think that's me. Pac-Man, I'm assuming, is Jack. And you're the Full Moon, Darren.
Darren Full Moony.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's great. That was beautiful. I didn't have any follow-ups to that other than I thought
relatively neutral about that. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. I think those were more. Maybe I didn't read
Perfectly
it in like a morning radio voice. Is the problem? Hey! It's time for Full Sleeves, Full Moon, and the Pac-Man.
Paku, everybody.
I was trying
now
to
read it in the style of a 90s wrestling announcer.
I was trying to mimic the weird soundboard they had where it would just like be like a car horn and then like a woman moaning, and I'm like, what is that?
Yes. Yeah.
Where do those noises come from? Someone Winnie the Poohing. Jonathan Griffin, thank you so much.
Soundboard came with the studio. I'm still figuring it
out. It says, hi, Rewind crew. Just watched The Predator for the first time because the Trachtenberg movies looked interesting. That said, is it worth watching all the sequels or just skip to Prey? So I'm assuming they watched the original Predator.
Okay. Yes,
and,
good call.
Yeah.
Not the Predator. Not the Predator.
Not the Predator. Yeah, it's a confused. Listen, movies should go to jail if your sequel puts a the in it. If that's the only difference.
No, but also like it's Predator, Predators, the Predator.
Yeah.
And Predator Prey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too confusing.
The easy answer is you can just skip to Prey.
Sure.
That's the really easy answer.
Yeah,
there is some interesting, like, Predator 2. As someone who loves bad, cheesy movies, I have a soft spot in my heart for Predator 2. I'm not going to defend Predator 2, but I have a soft spot in my heart for it.
I love that you were preemptively don't at me as if
Please?
myself and Marty were gonna.
I think there's something. I think there is something to enjoy in all of the mainline Predator movies. I'm not going to say Alien versus Predator because I really don't like those movies, but in terms of the mainline Predator movies, I think all of them you can find some form of enjoyment.
Yeah. I mean, I would push. I think the Predator kind of pushes it, and I think the problem with me with the Predator is the Predator feels like the Marvelization of the Predator, where it's a clear for me attempt to turn it into a franchise, as we understand the term modern franchise, where it's like we're building out an expanded universe. Have you ever wondered why the Predator pulls people's spines? That's can't say that I have. It's we've got the answer for you.
Please no, please I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
But I am partial. The Predator, the original Predator is a masterpiece.
Absolutely.
I am fonder of most than Predators. I have a huge soft spot for Predators, if only because of the incongruity of Adrian Brody, sweaty, gritty action hero.
Okay,
I will put my hands up and say, over the years, the first Alien versus Predator has kind of grown on me just a little bit as like trashy Paul W.S. Anderson cinema. I am generally agnostic on Paul W.S. Anderson. I think like Event Horizon is a masterpiece, and I think he has struggled to hit 3 stars across the rest of his career.
Agreed.
But I think that like Alien versus Predator is near those 3 stars at least. I find it's silly, it's stupid, it's fun.
Sure.
And it's light and it's casual, it's the lightest of confections. And it moves, it's like 90 minutes if I remember correctly. Like it moves quickly, and it is like unashamed of being the silly thing that it is, which I find kind of appealing in my old age. Alien vs. Predator Requiem is a war crime, and people should be like sent to the Hague for that one. But I will like the softest possible. If you're in the right mood, if you're not expecting anything particularly good, and if you like Paul W.S. Anderson, if you vibe with that kind of like late 90s, early 2000s, dumb, slow-mo action cinema, I have, in my later years, mellowed a little bit on AVP.
Oh, and by the way, here is maybe... Okay, I don't want to make this all about Predator. I don't want to make this entire podcast all about Predator. But here's my interesting thought. Like, Prey is brilliant. Prey is wonderful and brilliant. But if you are new to the franchise in general and you go right from Predator to Prey, aren't you going to say, oh, well, they just remade the same movie? Like, do we only love Prey because it is finally a return to simplistic form after watching all of the garbage in between? And if you watch them back to back, you might say, well, this is dumb. They just made the same movie twice.
That is a very fair point, because it is in many ways beat for beat the same movie. And then the irony is you end up with Predator Badlands, where people are like, this is not a Predator movie. This is too different. This is too wild. So maybe the thing to do is to watch Predator, then Predator Badlands, and then Prey. Maybe that's the right order in which to watch those movies.
Sure.
So you bring up Paul W.S. Anderson, and it just occurred to me. I'm going to float this out here. This is not a fully formed take. Are Paul W.S. Anderson and Adam Sandler the same dude? They are clearly capable of greatness in terms of Event Horizon, in terms of, Adam Sandler, dramatic greatness and your Punch Drunk Love, your Uncut Gems. However, they have made a living out of what feel like low energy productions that they could just throw all their friends and family members some cash, which I think is nice.
It's like it's one friend and family member in the case.
I'm sure Paul W.S. Anderson is also friends with his crew. I would be surprised if you didn't see the same names pop up, like his best boy is his nephew or something. Like, you are the best boy.
So they chose happiness. They chose like, happiness. I'm living my life. They got their work-life balance in order. Here's what I will say. Wasn't there, and this is trying to remember, wasn't there some behind the scenes skullduggery with Event Horizon? And half of it, the good half of the movie isn't a Paul W. Anderson movie, right?
No, if I remember correctly, it's that there is a better cut of the movie that exists but will never be seen because the footage was destroyed or something.
Yeah,
Isn't that
in like a fire, I think.
There's a by the studio,
by some sort of a hellmouth.
But I believe because there was some talk about could we do a director's cut of it, and he had to explain no, the studio destroyed the footage, which seems really mean-spirited. It's not only are we cutting your movie, we're burning the negatives so you can't possibly.
They thought it was so evil. They're worried that spooky demon Sam Neill is going to come after them, which is understandable. I worry about that every day.
Where we're going, we won't need eyes. And I'm like, Back to the Future reference, baby.
Exactly. Good stuff. Okay, we'll do 2 more quickies and then we'll jump to what was it? Dead Men Don't Lie? Wake Up Dead Man. Jesus. How did I fuck that up?
Eric has been gone for, at this stage, 50 minutes.
It's been too long. Eric, what am I supposed to do?
We are off the rails. Eric, without you, we are lost.
We are lost. John Arbuckle with the €2 dono. Why was Deadwood canceled after season 3? Please explain. I think it was too expensive and not enough people watched it, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And David Milch is famously difficult as well.
Sure.
Milch is kind of notoriously, he would figure things out on the set which would make it more expensive. So he would write it and then he would rewrite it and then he would rework it on the set, which meant that the production was very long and very arduous and involved large sums of money. Milch went on to do Luck, if I remember correctly, where his luck very much ran out. A show,
Yeah.
the rare show where they filmed the second season and just decided not to release it because they got like inches from the end and they were like, too many horses have died.
We've killed way too many horses in the production of this movie. Like every day, it
we're
was
not
like, we
even
gotta kill
joking,
another
Jack.
horse.
No, there was like a steady like week and a half where Variety and the Hollywood Reporter were like, another horse has died on the set of Luck. And after about 2 weeks of those stories, HBO was like, look, the second season of Luck was about 60% done, but we're shutting it down.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever seeing an inch of this footage.
Yeah, because when you see the second season, you're gonna see so many horses died. We killed so many of them.
Every episode ends with a dedication. The problem is that we didn't have enough episodes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He also did you ever watch that show? It lasted like 5 episodes or 10 episodes. It was
John
also
from
on HBO.
Cincinnati?
John from Cincinnati, about like Jesus coming back as like a surfboarding like a surfboard like SoCal dude. Yeah.
Possibly the most Californian show that ever existed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also one of those beautiful, man, you really released an incredible show. What are you going to do next? He's like, fuck it. I kind of appreciate the fucking attitude. I'm just going to do something weird next. Yeah.
Like it's not like making a movie where it's like you roll off and you're like, okay, I've got a dozen other ideas. Like, no, I spent like 3 to 5 years of my life pouring my heart and soul into this.
Yeah.
I can't just crank it out again.
Yeah.
Unless you're is it David Simon, who's very good at that.
Oh yeah, just immediately
David
moves on to the
Simon's
next
incredible.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like this thing is also maybe the best thing you've ever seen. Nobody will watch it, but it's one of the best things ever made.
But incredible.
I
And then,
think like Darren said, some people are just better at cranking it out.
Yeah.
Winnie the Poohing.
Not Winnie the Pooh.
artistically.
That's not what Winnie the Poohing is. I think we can all agree that is not what Winnie the Poohing is. And I don't want this
We've
lie.
all agreed David Simon is Winnie the Poohing creatively.
Stuck his head. He put his head in like in a honey jar and he can't get out. Let's take the garden with
honey
a 2.
jar is Generation Kill.
Listen, that's not a bad comp. Let's take the garden with a €2 dono. Thank you so much. Rush Hour 4, soon to be an academic paper on 2020s. Yeah, it turns out when you're president, you can just tell them to make a movie and they'll do it for you.
Fine.
I mean, okay, setting aside the just the insanity of like, I like the movie, you should make a sequel to it, I'm the leader of the free world.
Yeah,
The
I
fact
guess
that
to
it's the Brett
clarify
Ratner
it,
thing.
a report came out that Trump went to Ellison, the head of Paramount, and who they're now buddies, and I'm sure that's like gliding the wheels for the possible HBO acquisition.
Brothers.
Yeah, exactly, or for the Warner Brothers acquisition. But Trump said how much of a fan he was of Rush Hour, and that you guys should make another one of those. And then, sure enough, reports came out that they are in pre-production on another Rush Hour film, starring everyone's favorite Brett Ratner.
Well, directed by everybody's favorite Brett Ratner. Who was Me Too'd and accused of like sexual harassment by people like Olivia Munn, and you can read all those stories and stuff like that. He, it turns out, had produced a documentary about Melania. Was it for Amazon?
Okay, this all makes sense now. Okay, this all makes sense. Literally joining a direct line between the names in the story.
Yeah. Like it is so fascinating how you watch like 1970s paranoid thrillers and it's like a big board with lots of red twine and they have to go, it's through several shell companies. We've managed to track it across here, here, and here. And if you look at the shadow here, it matches the outline over there. And instead, like in reality, it's just like, nope, it's a straight line. You can watch it on Amazon Prime Video anytime you want.
They put all their names in the credits. It's we don't need to guess. They just said out loud all the things they're doing.
What they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's great that Warner Brothers may probably be owned by these people.
What could possibly go
wrong? Has anyone cared about Rush Hour? Like, Rush Hour is a good movie. Rush Hour is a very good movie. It's very fun. Rush Hour 2, it starts trailing off.
I like starts. I like that you're like, it's still got some juice though. Like, just to be clear, Rush Hour 2 still got a little bit.
To be fair, the end of Rush Hour, it starts trailing off.
I'm shocked they made a Rush Hour 3. Again, much like Now You See Me 3. I'm like, really? Did you guys make a second one? What happened there? Did you skip it?
And to be fair, the the president making a public statement about wanting a movie is very good advertising.
Sure.
And so I could see a production company going, well, we're in the news again. We might as well put some feelers out and see if we can be in production. So
Here's
that
we've
does
got our
make
two
sense.
geriatric leads back for this action romp.
But again, like the insanity of this being that, like, if this were like a non-Trump certified thing, people be like, "Oh, it's a DEI action movie where you got a black guy, you got an
Right.
Asian guy."
Could
It's like,
you
why aren't-
imagine? Yes.
Like, is Zachary Levi kind of just waiting by the phone to hear that he's playing Chris Tucker's son who's going to take over the franchise? Is that where we're at the moment? Sorry. That was maybe too specific. I apologize to Mr. Levy.
Script's going to be written by
I don't apologize to him. How about that?
The script's going to be written by that college girl from Oklahoma who wrote that essay. Like, I can take this one, guys. I'm a writer. Everything's terrible. Can we talk about Wake Up Dead Man?
Please.
Okay, let's talk about Wake Up Dead Man. This is Ryan Johnson's seventh movie, I believe, the third movie in the Benoit Blanc Knives Out series after Knives Out and Glass Onion. Out now in some theaters, coming to Netflix in a week or two. Darren, what did you think of Wake Up Dead Man?
I liked it. I think I maybe liked. I've only seen it once, to be clear. I think I like it maybe the least of the three Knives Out movies. And I think it's very well made. It's impeccably well structured. It's very well cast. It's an incredibly fun watch for a movie that is like 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's incredibly breezy, and it is like it's fun to play along with. The first time I was watching it, I had a great deal of fun trying to solve the mystery as they're going with Knives Out. And like with Glass Onion, it's like just a really fun, how much of this can I guess? How much of this do I get right? How much of this do I get wrong? And I think it is like the other two Knives Out movies, and like a lot of like Ryan Johnson's work, a very astute observation about a certain attitude in contemporary America. So I really liked it. I think it's great. I would wholeheartedly recommend it. It's a good time at the pictures. What held it back for me compared to like Knives Out and compared to Glass Onion is that for me, these movies are kind of explorations or deconstructions of the idea of the classic murder mystery. And when I say that, I mean like Agatha Christie also did this. It's just standard murder mystery stuff, but it picks at like what people think murder mysteries are, which is this idea of you have a detective, he comes in, he takes a look at the facts, he sorts them into files, he connects the dots, and he neatly explains everything that happens in a way that is completely impartial, objective, and with complete clinical detachment from what's going on. And Johnson's movies are about the idea that that is fundamentally impossible. In all three of the movies, Benoit Blanc shows up and starts to do that and realizes that he can't do that and that he shouldn't do that. So in Knives Out, he becomes invested in the story of this terrible family that have done this terrible thing. And he cannot allow like the plot to progress in the way that it should. At one point, he literally stops the unfurling of the narrative to go, no, 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 no. I'm putting my finger on the dial. As an impartial outside observer and investigator, I am now participating in the narrative rather than observing it. In Glass Onion, the big twist of that movie is that he's been participating from the beginning. He was never an impartial observer. He was always concocting a scheme and an active participant. And without getting into particulars about like Wake Up Dead Man, there is an element of that here where like he evaluates his role in the narrative that is being constructed, in the murder mystery. What is his function? What role does he play in unfurling it and in solving it? And like, what involvement does he have? And the thing that kind of maybe pushed me back a little bit while appreciating it, liking it, and understanding why it is the way that it is that the animating force in Knives Out and in Glass Onion is like sheer unadulterated anger and rage at the way that the world is, and the way that like the strong exploit the weak, the rich exploit the powerless, the way in which there is no accountability and there is no justice. And like that is what motivates Benoit Blanc in those movies to act in the way that he does. And that is to me like really compelling and really energizing, and it makes the movies kind of fun and vervy. And I want to be clear, I really liked Wake Up Dead Man. But Wake Up Dead Man feels more exhausted. It feels much more like and it very intentionally so, very deliberately so, but it feels very much like a product of a world where, without getting too heavy-handed and without getting too into the rush hour 4 of it all, where we have spent as a society the past 6 years of pointing at the guilty person, explaining in intricate detail how this web of lies is connected, all the sins that they have committed, all the lies that they have told, demonstrated incontrovertibly in print with anger, rage, and passion, and it has accomplished absolutely nothing. And for me, Wake Up Dead Man feels like a movie that is in some way about that, because it ends up being a movie literally and metaphorically about the idea of absolution, resolution, confession, and of like a soul and of guilt is something that a person has to recognize in themselves. It is a very Catholic movie, in a way that is very interesting, where guilt is not so much a legal concept as it is a moral concept, and it has to be something that a person recognizes in and of themselves. And that is very thoughtful, and it's very sincere, and I really appreciate it, and I liked it a lot intellectually, but it didn't give me the same visceral satisfaction of the angry, rageful, pointing across the room going, this is the person, this is what happened, this is what look at how we figured this out and we solved this problem, and we've allowed ourselves this moment of catharsis that is maybe not earned and is maybe fantastical, but is damn satisfying. So that is how I feel about the movie. I have that kind of push and pull with it.
That's really interesting. I mean, you're right. Because apparently only in fiction do the bad guys get punished. And it is really nice to see the bad guys be punished because we're so logical and thoughtful. The good guys are so smart and so logical that the bad guys, they get what's coming to them.
And crucially, logic wins, Jack. Like we live in a world where like truth wins, like where the truth means something, which is like, what a fantasy that is.
I think that's really fair. I think like the one, I agree with Darren. This is a very fun movie. It's a very good movie. I think I'm going to say something very controversial, which is that Rian Johnson is a really good filmmaker and a really good writer.
Yeah, he's a really good writer and he's a really good director. Yeah.
He's a really good writer. He's a really good director. In fact, I have a hard time coming up with any Rian Johnson movie that I don't like. I like all of his movies. I haven't seen all of his movies, but all of his movies I have seen, all of his movies that I have seen, I really enjoy.
Are you sure you're remembering the last one?
It's hard to remember if I've seen the last one.
There's a Broom Boy. Don't tell me you forgot about Broom Boy.
Nobody ever talked about that.
You love a Broom Boy.
Opinions about that one, yeah.
You absolutely love a Broom Boy.
But the I'm trying to think of like Jedi Death Man, or like how do we pun?
Wake Up Dead Man. Oh, sorry.
Wake up Jed Death. Nah, it's fine. Nothing's fine. The point is
nothing's fine.
It's fine. My pun doesn't matter. It's a good movie. It's a solid movie. I think the interesting thing for me, Darren says, it's a very Catholic movie. It's also incredibly respectful to people of faith. Having faith both in God and in people is a through line throughout the movie. And whereas Knives Out was very clear, like, oh, the rich people, they are cartoonishly, villainously the bad guys. We have no space for any sort of empathy towards them, which was very fun. Like Darren was saying, like, let the bad guys be bad. In here, he is very graceful towards the church and very magnanimous. Like the church is not the bad guy. The priests aren't necessarily the bad guy. Individuals are good or bad. And that was really interesting to see how he balanced that. There were, it would have been very easy just to throw the entire church organization under the bus.
Yeah, I thought it. I think Jack and I both just saw this movie last night, so I definitely want to see it a few more times. I'll watch it when it comes to Netflix and everything, because I've rewatched Knives Out and Glass Onion several times. I think this might have the most insightful critique, or is saying the most interesting thing about its topic, because Knives Out was kind of eat the rich, and Glass Onion was look how fucking dumb the people who run this country / world actually are. Both of those were like just me being like, yep, I agree. Like I wasn't really, which is sometimes nice. That's very cathartic to see your viewpoint validated on screen. Whereas this, I thought some of the monologues, some of the thoughts on faith, on like faith in humanity, faith in religion, faith in ourselves, I thought was really, really poignant. And you could tell, like you said, Jack, dealt with in a respectful way while still being extremely biting, and I think very sharp, and bringing up some great criticisms and everything, and observations. I also think he's him and his team just a master of casting these movies. Like I think they fill these movies, even small roles, with the people by and large in all three of the movies completely understanding the assignment. I think the revelation here, which shouldn't be a revelation because he was amazing in Challengers, but Josh O'Connor, the ostensibly the lead, he is the lead of the movie over Benoit Blanc. I mean, I don't, we're keeping this spoiler free, but I don't think it's a spoiler to
He's
say.
in the Ana de Armas role or the Janelle Monáe role.
Benoit Blanc doesn't appear for the first until almost the start of the second act of this movie, and Josh O'Connor is in every shot of the first act and is incredible. He's an incredibly warm presence that also has an anger underneath him that I think works perfectly for this. And
his range is remarkable. Like, the way in which, again, credit to the filmmakers, credit to the actors, the way in which we are able to follow along with him through a vast range of emotions in a single scene is absolutely goddamn delightful.
Yeah. And he just like his fit, like this is not in it. He looks a little weird, which I think we need more leading actors who look a little
this
weird.
Is the rat boy thing. This is the where are our rat boys?
Where's our rat boys? Jeremy Allen White, a great rat boy. We need more rat boys. Yeah, he's got a little bit of rat boy, incredibly handsome, but like a little bit of like, was you like, you got a little rat DNA in you? How do you say that without being cruel?
Yeah. You can't, and it's what it's okay is the way you say that is we need actors with character to their faces.
Yeah, absolutely. As opposed to like so many, like take the Chris's. So many of the Chris's just feel like they were like chiseled out of stone,
grown in a lab.
Yeah, of like, look, we found the most handsome thing ever. Point to Ryan Gosling. It was like when Ryan Gosling was like, they cast him in The Lovely Bones, and it's like, oh, you're supposed to be like a schlubby, sad dad. And he's like, I got it. I'll gain 70 pounds. You're like, I don't think this is. Maybe this was a mistake.
Wait, why am I thinking of Mark? Well, why do I think of Mark Wahlberg?
Oh, because Ryan Gosling was cast as the schlubby dad, gained 70 pounds without telling anyone. And then they were like, I think this is a mess. I think we need to recast you as regular Mark Wahlberg. And then afterwards, he was like, all right, I'll just be handsome for the rest of my life. And that's all I'll be. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'll literally play a Ken doll 10 years from now.
Perfect.
I love the arc. No, sorry, we will talk about Wake Up Dead Man in a moment. I love the arc of like Ryan Gosling going from Take Me Seriously as an actor, where he's doing things like Only God Forgives and Drives, and he's directing like Mystic, was it Lost River or whatever? It's where there's like this real, I'm a serious actor, Mom, take me seriously, and like. He through like it's The Nice Guys, and then it's Blade Runner, and then it's into like Barbie, and it's like, no, I've discovered my niche is just goofy airhead guy. I'll do the Fall Guy now. Like I kind of love that he's like, I found my happy medium. I don't have to be, as you say, 70-pound schlub dad in the Peter Jackson movie that nobody remembers.
He Adam Sandler did. He's like, I'm just gonna work and I choose happiness.
Listen, all of us can't be Colin Farrell and being like, fucking put me in the penguin suit 7 hours a day.
Even Colin Farrell after filming that season was like,
not doing that again. But Colin Farrell wasn't like, I'll gain 70 pounds for this role. He's like, no, I'm too pretty for that.
Put me in the suit.
And also he didn't like show up like by surprise. It's the surprise aspect of it. Like it's the energy of just like, you're not gonna believe this, Peter. Like, did he walk Peter Jackson in and cover his eyes and be like, okay, you're not gonna like wait.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that. Absolutely would love to be a fly on the wall. For that. How did you, without going into spoilers, what did you guys think of sort of the mystery machinations of this movie? Like you said, Knives Out and Glass Onion, I think, are both particularly really fun to on a rewatch. Once sort of the Rube Goldberg puzzle is revealed, to go back and be like, oh, that's what X, Y, and Z meant earlier on in the movie. I think you can glean something from that. Do you think this movie's going to have that same kind of thing? I personally don't. I feel like this is less a fun mechanical movie than the previous two, if that makes any sense.
Agreed. I think the mystery here, you have at least the broad strokes of the mystery figured out pretty damn fast, which is fine. Like this is a classic mystery in which this isn't Columbo where who done it. This is you trying to figure out who done it throughout the whole movie, and it's kind of easy to figure out who done it. and how it's done and what's happening at any given time. That being said, to me, the focus here were on the character arcs of our leads, and that's what I liked the most. So yeah,
and the themes, and like it takes its theme very seriously. Like there is, without getting too into spoilers, there's a moment where the characters are in the midst of solving the mystery and chasing a particular thread and pulling a particular thread in terms of like solving what's happening. And Josh O'Connor is on the phone to somebody, and that character just pauses and says, "Father, I'm having a crisis of faith." And while Benoit Blanc is kind of standing there going, we have the clue, we have the clue, we have the clue, we have the clue, we can get the next one, go get the next clue, go get the next clue. Josh O'Connor just says, no, actually just stop, and walks out of the room to have a conversation with this woman that is like profoundly personal and profoundly spiritual and really deep and really human and really meaningful.
Yeah.
And it is, that to me feels like a mission statement for what the movie is doing.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's playing with this idea of, you know, wanting to solve, wanting to win, wanting to be the person who points at the guilty party and goes, I know why you're guilty, I know what you did, and I'm smart, and isn't that great? Look at how wonderful I am. And instead going, maybe we need empathy. Maybe empathy is what's important. And I think that's like, it's a really beautiful scene. And I think that's probably why I'll rewatch it more than the mystery aspect. To Jack's point, I will say, I got a lot of the mechanics of it. Like I got a lot of what was happening, why it was happening, where things were, and like who had orchestrated certain things. I didn't get the guilty party, which is quite clever. Like
okay.
I thought it was very like, yeah, we'll talk about it in the spoilers, but I did not get the guilty party, which was quite, I thought that was very clever that I was able to follow along and get how the thing was done, but not who had actually done it, which I thought was very impressive.
Yeah, it is. You having seen Knives Out, and I think Glass Onion especially almost does a couple like sleight of hand tricks throughout the movie, and so you're almost primed to be on the lookout for those. And there were a couple things where I was like, ooh, I bet there's more to this moment that I'm not gleaning right now. And sure enough, during the reveal, you're like, oh yeah, there was more to that moment than I was gleaning. Because if something feels one-dimensional, it usually isn't in these movies. Like there's usually enough care to be played, even with people who seem like they're, you know, fucking rotten to the core. There's usually something there that it's like, oh, this explains it, or, you know, a bit of a key to that.
And I mean, we're far enough from Glass Onion, and it's a reveal that comes early enough in Glass Onion that I feel we can mention it. It's that, like, the thing about Glass Onion is that, like, Glass Onion breaks one of the cardinal rules of the whodunit, the unspoken rules of the whodunit. And I know there are people who love whodunits who hate Glass Onion just because it does this one thing, even though it tells you it's doing this one thing, which is identical twins. Right? Which is, like, whereas this does not feel quite as postmodern. This does not feel quite as tangly. This does not feel quite as twisty. It doesn't feel like it's waiting to pull the rug out from under you, which I think was a really interesting feeling I had watching it for the first time. Because I was like, with Glass Onion and even with Knives Out, there are like, we're pulling the rug out from under you. You had assumed this, or you had not known that this ball was in play.
Yeah.
This joke was actually serious and you should have been paying attention to it or whatever. In this is a much more fair play mystery, which I think is really interesting. I think maybe gets the idea that it's a murder mystery where the mystery isn't that important to what it's doing, which is kind of an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. Agree with that. Do you want to chat a little bit spoilers?
Yeah, we can go a little bit into spoilers.
Yeah. So spoiler warning from here. We'll be chatting spoilers for a couple minutes, and then jumping over to more super chats and everything else we've been watching. Spoilers. You got to if you're still here.
Here,
this is on you. This can't possibly be on us.
I'm going to put it in chat here. Spoilers.
Winnie the Pooh spoilers.
No.
If I'm holding the bottle, we're still talking about spoilers. This is actually not product. To point this away from camera.
Yeah, so we'll holler in the chat. We'll holler in the chat when we're back from spoilers.
Yeah, and I'll lower the bottle when we've stopped talking about spoilers. So if you're skipping through and you still see the bottle in my hand, we're still talking spoilers.
Yeah,
I the things we do for you viewers.
I think
audio listeners, we can't do anything for you guys.
One thing I liked that the movie kind of did a couple like. There are certain people who thought they did the murder, like thought they were guilty because of some of the circumstances of how Josh Brolin's Monsignor character died. So there are some people who were either hiding information or thought they may have been a guilty party. And I thought that was an interesting wrinkle to it. But what did you think about the ultimate reveal, Darren?
Very Catholic movie. To reinforce your point, like that is how it is a Catholic movie. It's a movie about guilt as much as if we're talking with spoilers, my big assumption going through had been that it was like that it was going to break another cardinal rule of the whodunit, which is like we mentioned, the twins thing is like a cardinal rule of the whodunit. You can't have identical twins. It's just a cheap cop out generally, and like Glass Onion does that, which is very cheeky and subversive of it. I was waiting for the reveal that it was a suicide basically, or that it was a staged by the person themselves. That was the big thing that I felt that it was edging towards, and it doesn't do that, which I think is very clever. I really liked. I love the denouement of it. The bit at the end where Benoit Blanc sets up to do his big, here's the person who did it, here's how they did it, here's why they did it, and then just stops himself and kind of like because I think this is something I think you mentioned, Marty, and I think you mentioned as well, Jack, the thing about that catharsis that I was talking about of the pointing the finger at somebody and saying, this is the guilty party. It makes you feel very good. It's a very satisfying feeling for you to have to go, I'm smart and I'm right and this person is wrong.
Yes.
And like, it is very, like, it makes you feel good. But there is an element of like, what good does that do anybody? What good does that do the larger picture of things, the larger world in which we live? Where Benoit Blanc realizing that like, it's not his moment. Like, this thing that has happened is not about him. He doesn't get to sweep in and like point the finger and like self-righteously lecture. And again, you can read any sort of political commentary into that you want in terms of like the idea of how America moves forward as a nation from where it is right now, in that it is whatever happens, goodness forbid, it's probably not going to be because somebody pointed a finger and went, you're all wrong and evil, and here are the receipts to prove it. Even though I think part of me is like, the reason why I booked against the movie a little bit is because the movie's alternative is, well, we'll just trust that the person responsible for how bad everything is will actually like own up to it at the end. And I'm like,
right.
I understand how faith works, but you're asking a lot here in this particular metaphor.
This is like believing that like us being so smart and clever and having all the receipts puts the bad guy in jail is more believable than the bad guy turning themselves in.
Yeah.
Than the bad guy being like, I thought about it and what I did was wrong and I'm willing to take responsibility. But I understand that being a theme of the movie, and that being what the movie is about, and that being like a central meditation on guilt and responsibility, because like that's what this is. It's like it reminds, again, very very similar to Christie. If you guys have read Murder on the Orient Express, which is like it's the definitive Christie novel for a reason, because it like largely subverts the format of the whodunit, where like at the end of that novel, without getting too into spoilers, Poirot basically goes, what even is justice? Like, it's like, my job here was to find out who had committed the crime. Now I realize I don't have the authority to realize, like, I can't even identify what the crime is here that's been done. And there is an element of that at the end of this, which is that beautiful moment of Benoit Blanc going, well, look, this isn't about me having my big triumphant moment of catharsis, and this isn't about me making myself feel good. And the idea that the really warm, really humanist idea of like, Josh O'Connor believing in the church, and to Jack's point, the idea that like this movie is respectful of faith, that this movie like believes in faith, that this movie doesn't denigrate faith. Josh O'Connor believes in the Catholic Church. He believes in religion. He believes in like humanism. He believes in all the stuff that at its best Catholicism should believe in. And I say that as a lapsed Catholic. I say that as somebody who does not believe in the institution of the church, who is incredibly skeptical about like the Catholic Church as an organization, but somebody who as a child was raised to believe, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That which you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. And internalizing that idea and believing that idea, I found the ending of this like really sweet and sincere, and really resonated with me as kind of what, when I was younger, I would have wanted faith to be. What I would have wanted the church to be, if that makes sense.
This was a priest written by a formerly religious person who is now this is a secular's idealized version of a priest. 100%.
It's like Jeb Bartlett. It's like in the West Wing, where it's like, oh, this could be what a president is like. It's like, well, like, we'll never be like that, but yes, that would be nice.
No, but even more so, like the ending of this movie, like Benoit Blanc like standing aside and, you know, kind of letting the institution take care of it, is this wonderful through line of Josh O'Connell, many of his like early verbal sparring battles with Josh Brolin, who again is just in every movie right now. Just take a break, Mr. Brolin, you're fantastic, but please take a break.
Love that he kicked Pedro Pascal out of Weapons. It's like, no, now I'm in everything.
I will accept you in Weapons. You are much better casting for Weapons, but you didn't need to be in this. Like, it's fine. The idea, I want to say he says to him at one point during one of their verbal sparring Oh yeah, during one of their verbal
We'll
sparring
holler in
sessions-
the comments when spoilers. You don't have to keep the bottle up. I feel bad. You're just holding it. You're like,
no,
like your torch.
Um,
Listen, I tried to
he's-
put up a spoiler warning. I don't know if you guys saw, and I can't get it to be smaller.
Oh, okay.
It's just constantly big, and I can't figure out. Oh, I'm slowly making it smaller. Actually, wait a minute, I'm doing it. But it's kind of too small.
He's walking. Look
Now
at
it's
him
kind of
go.
too small. I'm gonna put it right here.
Walking.
I'm gonna put it right here.
I'm sorry.
Oh no!
Looks
I
like
don't know what
shit.
Marty's doing.
It looks
It's
like
great.
shit. The spoiler warning looks like
great.
shit, and this is where I'm keeping it.
Good. Well, yeah, we won't be in spoilers for too long, but
Yeah.
there's this wonderful theme that goes through the good priest as he says, like, you keep trying to win. You
Mhm,
keep
yeah.
trying to win at at Jesus, and you can't.
Yeah.
And like Josh Brolin keeps trying to like get him to fight for what he wants, and there is a little bit of like they go low, we go high, idealized version of this, which again, it's fiction, it's fine, but but like the ending to me was incredibly satisfying because of that narrative of that like, yeah, we don't have to win at this, we have to trust in ourselves to know the truth, and that will lead us to salvation, which again, this is fiction.
But it's nice to think about. It's
No,
like
but it
nice
is.
that
Like,
like
and and it's wholesome, and like the movie like this should not have the weight of the world on its shoulders.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
it's not a valid criticism of Wake Up Dead Man to go. And I came out of the theater and I looked at my phone, and all the bad people had not magically confessed their sins, and we had not, as a society, begun to heal as a result of that. Like it's not really that much of a criticism of the fun run
Right,
around
of
murder
course.
mystery movie.
Mhm.
But
Oh, no,
yeah,
and I will say, like, I saw this in a relatively packed theater,
Nice.
and like the joyous, raucous laughter throughout. Like,
Yeah.
this is a really fun movie. If you like these kind of silly character-driven murder mysteries, it's great.
Oh yeah, and
I saw
there's
the
some
critic
really good like
screening, and the Andrew Scott like punchline
Oh.
at the end of the movie got like the loudest laugh I
Yeah.
ever heard in a critic screening.
yeah. He has some good goofs. Him about like
Yeah.
fucking being done with Substack and like I can't do this
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my ticket out of Substack.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and some of the honestly like some really spot out the adopted son who's the aspiring politician, his whole rant
Yeah.
of like, I don't know what went wrong on the campaign trail. I did everything I should, and then listing
Yeah.
off every one of the fucking hollow tactics conservatives have been using for like the past 30 years, and especially
And
now.
a solid minute, like it's a
Yeah.
solid minute of
And
like just
everyone, you're like, oh, yep, I see that every day. I see that every day. Yep, see that every day. Yep, spot on. Yeah.
occasionally just cutting to Josh O'Connor's like face.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if
I don't think this is. I don't think we're speaking the same language right now. Yeah.
Here's something I will say. I understand the visual, because we are still in spoilers. I understand kind
The
of the
bottle's still up.
visual motif, and I understand like movies are a visual medium, but him hiding the priceless jewel in a place in which the sun can reflect off of it and people will notice it is the stupidest thing in the world.
It does feel like that's I love it as a last shot. That's like a great little last shot. However, 100% at the right time of day, it seemed like in almost every scene, the sun was blaring through those windows. It's like how the Dallas Cowboys built like a several $billion stadium, but fucked up the direction they built it in. And now like whenever the Cowboys have the ball, like the sun is just blaring in their eyes. They're like, did anyone think about this? We probably shouldn't have done this. Yeah, a little bit like that.
That is an example of something where I did kind of roll my eyes a bit, because like before you get the reveal of where the diamond is, you have him literally shake that character's hand and go, your inheritance is in Christ. And I'm like, I know exactly where the jewel like that was a little bit on the nose for me.
Yeah. Yes, and of course, like these are that's a very minor throwaway.
It's one line. It's like it's a single line.
Also, that kind of stuff that is like Poirot. That's like that sort of wordplay. Like that's
sure.
Yeah, I mean, part of me was just like, you're doing this in a major motion picture. You're living my dream. I'm a little jealous.
Right. Also, like the another tiny nitpick is like the revelation that like the mass fortune was turned into a jewel. We were told after we saw the jewel. And so like there was a little bit of me kind of like catching up because they talked about this massive fortune. And then like we see the single jewel, and then later we found out that he turned the fortune into the he bought the jewel with the massive fortune. And so there was a little bit of me catching up to be like, wait, what? Okay, yeah, it's a jewel now, fine. But it seems like that could have been cleaned up a little bit in the writing of like we're looking for a jewel.
Well, you can't have the priest like choke to death on a Bitcoin.
And a big pile of money.
he's just eating a bunch of money.
I do love the idea of like Thomas Hayden Church is like pulling like colorful European notes from like the phone.
Right.
Just like old baseball cards. Like, I guess this is valuable. Weird way to save it.
Sure.
But acid immune, it seems they really laminated this thing.
That does pull at some logical threads of like, man, that really would have come up during an autopsy.
Yeah.
Like the thing he choked on, like that would have come up.
Yeah.
But minor nitpicky stuff, obviously that is not important to the movie as a whole, but it's one of those like you start pulling at that like logic thread and you go, well, no, people would have definitely found this by now.
I want to give I'm imagining maybe this is one of the Rian Johnson movies you haven't seen that you mentioned earlier, Jack. I want to give a big shout out to Rian Johnson's second movie, The Brothers Bloom. Which is an all-time, in my opinion, an all-time great confidence man movie, a con man movie. That has a similar sort of puzzle structure that by the end of the movie, a bunch of the pieces fall in place and you're like, I see what was going on. Really great movie. Mark Ruffalo and Adrian Brody play two brothers who are lifelong con men. And they meet Rachel Weisz and they end up going on this sort of globe-trotting con adventure. Give that one a big reco. People should check that out. It was kind of before Rian Johnson blew up with Looper and Star Wars and these movies, obviously.
Neat.
He directed a Star Wars?
Turns out he directed a Star Wars. Yeah. Solo, the Han Solo film.
All right. Do we think we can be spoiler free now?
Does that mean Darren could put his arm down and I could take down this piece of this art? All right. We are spoiler free officially. Okay. Just one guy. You're gonna be like the guy in Lady in the Water that had the one big bulky arm.
Yeah. Well, again, the moral of the story is that I think this is a movie that's worth people's time. I think like it's a good, solid movie.
I think this is worth if you liked, especially if you liked the last two. I think worth checking out in theaters if you have it nearby. But otherwise, in about 10 days, it's going to be on Netflix. So I think this will be a fun movie. A lot of people like go home for the holidays, watch movies with families and stuff. Like this feels like I'll rewatch this movie with my mom when it comes to Netflix, and I bet she'll really like it. So.
Yeah.
Mom approved.
It's on a short list for the Christmas movie. It's up there with like One Battle After Another, or Predator Badlands, or this are going to be the Christmas movie.
What was your Christmas movie last year?
Christmas movie last year was Heretic. So we could keep the religious theme kind of going.
Yeah. I bet Hugh Grant would have fun in a Knives Out. Ooh, there you go. Knives Out 4.
He was in the Knives Out movie. He was in the last one.
Hugh Grant?
Yeah, he was Benoit Blanc's husband.
Get the fuck out of here. During the whole COVID thing at the beginning. Okay. Well, they wasted him. He should be in the town. He needs to be in more of the movie. Oh, I forgot the whole thing. Yeah, they have the Zoom call. Wasn't it like
they did waste him? They 100% wasted him. Yeah.
It's like Natasha Lyonne.
Yes, and
is it like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or something? It's like a weird group of people.
Yeah. Playing, is it like Lonely? What's the game? The one where you put people in the airlock?
Oh, Among Us.
Among Us.
I wonder how long it would have taken for you to get there. Angela Lansbury and Stephen Sondheim. And Yo-Yo Ma. They were the ones on the call.
Yo-Yo Ma is at the party with Kate Hudson.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Is that tough? Do you think COVID era stuff that just leans into the COVID is going to be weird to revisit?
Like so much of modern cinema just ignores it. It's kind of, again, it's like the Spanish flu. It reminds you a lot of like the Spanish flu, where like you watch a bunch of movies about like the 1910s or the 1920s. It's like, yeah, big world war happened. And it's like, what happened after that? Wall Street crash. It's like, anything happened in between those two things? Nope. Nothing at all.
That was it.
Yeah. Where it's understandably because it's a lot of people died and it was very close to people and, not the most cinematic of things, but it is kind of weird how there's just this gap in culture where like even movies that were produced during the pandemic, like, is it A Man Called Otto is the one starring Tom Hanks about like the grumpy old man who's lost his wife.
Tries to kill himself.
Like and tries to kill himself in the opening scene of the movie. But they go out of his way when he visits her gravestone to have her death be in 2019. So there's no way that you can even be thinking about COVID when this old OAP widower is dealing with loss. Just to be clear, definitely happened before COVID. You don't have to worry about any of that at all.
Yeah.
It is interesting how much that kind of vacuum exists. Glass Onion is one of the big ones. Like Sicko is the other one, the slasher movie from the Scream guy. Trying to think, there really isn't.
There was one. Was it called Host? The one that was like the
horror,
the screen footage. It was like everyone on a Zoom call. It was actually a pretty good horror movie. Everyone's on a Zoom call and spooky stuff starts happening. And
there's like Songbird or Mockingbird, or the one that was like the Bradley Whitford, Andre Daddario, like weird COVID thriller sex movie.
For a second, I thought you were talking about a Hunger Game, and I'm like, I don't think those are. I think they got their own problems they're worried about. They got to worry about the culling.
The reaping, isn't it? The what's the new one?
You can't reap without a cull. Jack, you're the number one Hunger Games fan. What's your district?
I tuned out like 5 minutes ago. I got like,
you don't like a Hunger Game?
Smiling, I don't like a Hunger Game. I genuinely think those are at best mediocre movies.
There you go. What about? Did you ever see Battle Royale?
Best. You know what? I think Battle Royale is at best a mediocre movie.
Oh,
wow!
I saw Battle Royale. Maybe like we should watch this before these movies, and it was like the fights weren't that great. The premise wasn't that great. Like mediocre Battle Royale. These are my hot fucking takes.
We're just fucking rolling.
We need to know that we need to dedicate an entire episode to just us being able to exercise these hot takes from ourselves.
And they're just non sequiturs. Like there's no real bridge between.
You know what, Steven Spielberg? I don't get it.
I thought 1941 was perfectly fine.
Right. War horse, more like bore horse.
Give me another Ready Player One.
Ready Player 2.
See, it's right there.
My hot take is that I actually quite like War Horse for my and the best movie ever made about a guy who really wants to fuck a horse.
I did not see War Horse. I just remembered the name and could think of a pun.
You know what they should have done? They should have let David Millich direct that one.
It, are you?
Oh, you're naysaying. God damn it. Zero horses died on the set of that movie. I actually don't know that. It's possible a horse died. It had to be fewer than Luck, though. There's no way it could be more dead horses than Luck. Great. Let's cover some super chats before we chat about everything else we've been watching. Peter Parker SL. Sorry, I missed one of your super chats from earlier. $10 dono. I heard that Indy, the dog from Good Boy, is the first animal to be given a Best Actor award. What other animal roles should get a retroactive award for Best Actor? Listen, I said it when we talked about Good Boy a few weeks ago. Genuinely, some of the best acting I've seen this year. I don't think he should be nominated for an Oscar, but I think they should give him a treat or something.
It would be great if they just nudged one of the actors out of the category for Indy, just sitting down with Leo. Good. It's like,
sorry, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. I know you played 2 characters in this movie that was beautiful and people loved, but
you seamlessly played 2 distinct characters in a movie. But have you seen this Good Boy?
However, the dog looked scared when the ghost was around, and that's really impressive because it's just a dog. Maybe all the pigs from Babe. I love the movie Babe. Those animals, they feel like they're actually talking. So give it to all the. I think there's 10 pigs they used, so it's kind of a cheat.
There's also the Palm Dog, which is the thing they do at Cannes, where they give an award to the best canine or animal performance in a Cannes movie.
Oh, really?
And I think the one of the big winners of that is Uggy, but it's the dog from The Artist. But it's because of course it is the black and white French silent movie.
Yeah,
fucking.
I thought the dog. They brought him to a couple of the award shows a few years ago from Anatomy of the Fall. Was nice.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a nice dog. So
here's okay. This is going to be
a new hot take. They shouldn't put animals in movies.
Here's my new.
They should just have dudes in animal wigs, not even masks, just animal wigs, cats.
Like The Wind in the Willows. We just watched that movie. We don't need to see that.
The Wind in the Willows. Okay, not a hot take. The Wind in the Willows fucking sucks. That movie
blows
a weird
chunks. That was a truly bizarre movie. That honestly, I'm still thinking about.
I I think that movie, Wind in the Willows, absolutely blows chunks, sucks super bad, and the fact that they made all the creative decisions they did means that they are bad at making creative decisions. But no, my real hot take is I don't think Animals deserve any acting awards because it is what is it called, the Kuleshov effect.
Yeah.
It is us projecting emotions onto them when they have none. Stop it, animals. You stop personifying animals. They are animals. They are different than us.
Animals have emotions. What are you talking about?
Speech of somebody who's like thinking about eating that dog. Like that's the realization. Somebody who's like, I want to eat that dog.
I have animals. I love my animals. I have grown up around so many animals all the times. They have emotions, not like us. They do not think like us. They cannot emote like we do. Stop it. Stop it all the time.
What I will say to that, I actually agree in principle. Like a large part of like Indy's performance is down to Indy's training, and it's down to like the patience of the film crew, and it's down to the placing of the camera and the editing.
You say the same thing about Daniel Day-Lewis. His training, his patience. That wasn't even a joke. You can say the same thing about him.
I love the idea of like Ronan Day-Lewis on the side of it dangling a piece of ham over the camera.
Listen, like, I know my dad gets very excited when he sees ham, so that's what I'm going to do for this.
It's like Kenneth Branagh who's like, I want you to take a dip in the river of ham. But like, okay, but my point, the point I was about to make, Marty, actually wasn't that different from the one you brought up. I would not have cited Daniel Day-Lewis, but I would have made the point of things like we do recognize technical craft in human acting.
Of course.
So things like, say, the awards nominations for things like 1917 and stuff like that, where like, when you look at the performances in 1917, you're not grading like the emotional reality of the life that's going on behind. Is it George McKay's eyes? It's one of those boys who looks like he could be a Taylor Swift boyfriend, past, present, or future. But like, one of those, he looks like a Taylor Swift boy. I don't know which one he is. Like,
not a new one though. A new one. You got to be a buff football player to be a new Taylor Swift.
Yeah, no, he looks like the kind of sensitive poet era, like Taylor Swift boyfriend, like starter pack. And I think he's very good, to be clear. But a large part of like what is impressive about that performance is hitting all of his marks, like being where he needs to be when the camera gets to where it is for the take to continue, making sure that everything can be seen and being in every frame of that movie where he should be when he should be. And part of me is like, if we recognize that as like acting, then in that case, I think what Indy does kind of act as acting, because a large part of like what is challenging about that performance, setting aside the me as a like person who has had dogs in the house since I was a kid will always project onto the dog, the simple fact of getting the dog to walk to 3 separate points in the frame, stay in that space for the right amount of time, and move at exactly the right moment and turn its head at exactly the right moment, even if it took you 20 takes to do it and like a whole day of filming, is still to me very impressive technically.
Yeah, it's hard enough to film like a 5-second phone video of your dog doing what you want your dog to do, let alone a 90-minute movie.
My dog is currently laying in the hallway looking at me saying this, not knowing what I'm saying, but loving the fact that I love her. And so like, this is not a me hates dogs. What I do is I appreciate the collaborative craft that is filmmaking. And there is a difference between a human like making a performance and an animal and a group of trainers making a performance. Is all I was going to say. It was slightly hyperbolic for comedy purposes. But
I got it right. It was George McKay. I'm very proud of myself.
Oh, there you go. One of the Swift boys.
I just don't
he was. He just looks like he could be.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Looks like he's cut from the mold. I did not expect that much.
She went to the store and like she tried Callum Turner for a little while and Joe Alwyn and like and McKay just kind of got left on the shelf like a Buzz Lightyear doll. But sorry,
this isn't a movie about Buzz Lightyear. It's about the man that Buzz Lightyear was based on. I don't know. This is very different.
So fucking stupid.
I did not think we'd get that much meat off the bone from that super chat. I will be honest. Also, sorry, while we were goofing, Lena Loki-kun just in all caps said Spaniel Day-Lewis. I like that very much. That was really good. That was really good.
You know what? That's really good.
Really good.
That's really good.
Sussy Guru, thank you so much with a pair of donos. Currently at season. I'm going to be honest. Some people started asking about Star Trek. I was going to choose to just skip them, but I'm not going to do that. Currently at season 5 of my Voyager rewatch, worst episode so far overall is Unforgettable, which was ironically very forgettable. And yes, that is worse than Threshold. I don't know. Any thoughts on
Is it
Unforgettable?
You haven't gotten to the boxer yet.
No, season 5 is the boxer. Like, again, it's very telling that these are both Chakotay episodes, to be fair. Like, the premise of Unforgettable is that Chakotay has such raw sexual charisma that he is capable of making an alien whose, like, entire genetic code is about forgetting. Remember how hot and sexy Chakotay is. Because if there's one member of the Voyager cast that you point to and go, yeah, I'm going to take that with me to the grave, it's Chakotay. Yeah, it's a bad episode. It is a bad episode.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to bunch together the Star Trek ones right now.
Do it.
Snake of the Garden with a €2 dono. Thank you so much. Snake. Jack, what season are you up to in DS9? Sorry, Marty. This should be an easy one. This is just a number.
This is just a number. No, and I'm still
boxing this one.
I'm still muddling my way through season 3 as there's a lot more things to watch now that it's the holiday season, because I had to watch shitty Netflix holiday movies. By the way, I'm going to put that in quotes. I had to watch shitty holiday rom-coms, which are something I genuinely enjoy, and I will be talking about later.
We're going to get there soon. Were there any diamonds in the rough? Like, were there any like full throttle recos?
There is a full throttle reco. Yeah.
I like that. I don't like, I know I was the one who said it. I don't like the combination of words full throttle reco.
Let me tell you, this rom-com goes full throttle reco.
No, he's
a little bit of FT or.
I don't like it. And then John Arbuckle said with a €2 dono, Darren, what say you about Star Trek Insurrection? That was a movie, right?
Very little. It is. It's a movie. It's hot take is it's the worst Star Trek Next Generation cast movie because at least Nemesis is interesting. It is. Both Nemesis and Insurrection are bad, but at least like Nemesis is bad in interesting ways, whereas Insurrection is that thing you mentioned with like John from Cincinnati. It is the embodiment of 90s Californian kind of liberalism, where it's a white guy who like read a Wikipedia article on Native American culture and is like, I think I got this. Where it's like, what if, and hear me out, we do the Trail of Tears, but in Star Trek. And you're like, okay, this sounds dicey, but Michael, we're willing to go with you. What's your big pitch? Like, what if, and hear me out here, all the villagers are white. And we're like, okay, Michael, maybe we need to take that back to the drawing board a little bit. It is quite bad. It is interesting enough the Star Trek movie that feels most like a Star Trek television episode, though, which is really interesting. It feels like it could have been a 2-part episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, a 2-part episode of Star Trek The Next Generation that nobody remembered or ever talked about, but a 2-part episode of Star Trek The Next Generation nonetheless. But yeah, I unfortunately do not care for that one.
Speaking of Star Trek, I saw that Justin Lin, who directed Star Trek Beyond, is directing the Helldivers movie.
Oh,
he also directed Fast 5, which I think is the best Fast and Furious movie.
Yes, it is.
Jack, as both a Helldivers knower and a obviously a Starship Troopers knower, any thoughts on that?
Beyond is my favorite of the new Treks. Because it's the most.
Is that the one with the Beastie
fun.
Boys moment?
That's the one with the Beastie Boys.
Well, the first one also has a Beastie Boys moment that the third one's referencing, but yes.
Oh,
fair.
The car in the first.
The car, yeah. So, but yes, the big.
What you expect from Star Trek? A car Beastie Boys moment. Sorry,
yeah.
Jack.
The Beastie Boys third act action sequence, which is very fun. The Beyond is to me a very fun and a fun action Star Trek, which is what I'm here for. Fast 5, like you said, a great Fast and Furious movie. So
he also directed Tokyo Drift. That one's great. Lots of drifting.
Fucking Tokyo Drift,
and it's in Tokyo. It's like you get what you said in the tin.
Yeah.
So if your pitch for a Helldivers movie is a fun and schlocky action movie with Helldivers dripped over it, I'm super here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Also worth noting that Paramount have begun work on a new Star Trek movie from the guys who did Game Night as well.
Yeah, and the D&D movie, which I'm bummed probably means we're not getting another D&D movie, which is a bummer because I thought that was really fun, and I feel like that's a formula that could be replicated every few years. But
absolutely.
It is also nice that those guys are like continuing to work though, even after like that movie makes very little money. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Again, to be fair to Paramount, the old regime and stuff like that, and obviously things are changing. But like we said with the Naked Gun, where it's nice that like with the Naked Gun team, with the Lonely Island team, they're like, one of these is gonna hit eventually, right? If we just keep letting you guys who make good movies make new movies, eventually one of these is gonna work.
If you keep making incredibly good movies, eventually people are going to realize that you make incredibly good movies. And so far, no one seems to know that you make incredibly good movies.
So like I'm kind of, and it does kind of suggest that we're out of the streaming age of Star Trek as well, where the only remaining Star Trek TV show is the Starfleet Academy show, which stars, to be clear, Paul Giamatti and Holly Hunter, that is releasing in January, that nobody knows exists, and which is going to run 2 seasons before it is cancelled. And now we're going back to movies. It is like so interesting how quick the switch flips from, well, this is a streaming franchise to, well, we're in the movie business again.
Children yearn for Giamatti. They love Giamatti.
That's true.
That's true.
We're doing a sexy Starfleet Academy show. Who's our lead? Paul Giamatti. And like, and he's not playing the dean. Like it's so straight. Like it would be so slam dunk. Yes, so slam dunk casting to have Paul Giamatti play the crusty old dean of Starfleet Academy. But unfortunately, no.
Oh, the Holdovers Winter Break at Starfleet Academy, like a Holdovers kind of movie. That's not bad. That's actually not bad.
Nova Squadron.
Okay, I kind of like this now. This is gonna be the thing that finally gets me into Star Trek, the fake Star Trek show we've created. Pure Pyro with a €2 dono. Thank you so much. What do you guys think about After Sun? It's on Tubi now. After Sun was the Paul Mescal movie from a few years ago, right? I thought it was really good. I thought it was beautiful and devastating.
Yes, incredibly sad, incredibly beautiful, incredibly sad.
Yeah, check out After Sun if you want. It's just a real bad time.
If you feel like your heart is in like too few pieces,
that is the one movie. I believe famously they told it was like a first-time young child actor, and they didn't tell her everything about the movie, and so she kind of filmed the movie because a lot of the movie is like her and her dad on like a really nice trip. And filmed the movie thinking it was about a movie about a dad and a daughter on a really nice trip without some of the context of the other sad stuff that happens in the movie. So there you go. See the secret? Lie to your actors.
Yeah, I mean that's The Shining, and like is it Jake the little kid? And I nearly said Jake Lloyd, but that's a different like kid actor in a different movie.
In The Shining, he should have tried spinning because that is a good trick.
That's a good trick.
That is a good trick. Did they tell him in The Shining that like everything's fine? These 2 children aren't trying to kill you?
Yep. No, apparently he had no idea it was a horror movie until he was much older.
Is he dumb? I think he might just be dumb. Why are you
covering those 2 girls in like red sauce? It's like, oh, it's because we were having a party and they slipped and fell. That's what it is.
Did he see the fucking elevators open and a bunch of blood come out? Does he see his dad running around with a Max? Is he dumb? Does he know this is based on a Stephen King book? Was the kid stupid?
How many kids that age are
8 years old
into Stephen King? Yeah.
I don't know. There's Eyes of the Dragon. That's kind of like a young adult book. Might have read that.
He's leafing through his copy of Pet Sematary going, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. PT with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. Regarding Ryan Johnson, thoughts on Pokerface's strange season 3 plans? So the news was that Pokerface ran 2 seasons on Peacock and is not coming back for a third. However, Ryan Johnson and company retained the rights to it and are shopping it around to other studios, other streamers. However, Natasha Lyonne will not be playing the lead. They said if it gets picked up, Peter Dinklage will now be the lead, and the idea is every 2 seasons they swap out the lead actor, although I'm assuming the lead actor still has the same kind of superpower of being able to tell when someone is lying.
Because it's a gender neutral name of Charlie Cale. He'll still be playing Charlie Cale.
Any thoughts? Jack is befuddled. I have some theories on why this is happening. I think it's a little
the timing is very suspicious when you consider what Natasha Lyonne is wholeheartedly embracing and what Ryan Johnson is saying, get me the fuck away from. And the fact that like this announcement comes in the middle of both of them having those 2 very separate and I'm sure not at all engaged with each other conversations about the nature of the future of the industry. It's AI, by the way.
Natasha Lyonne is leaning heavily, sadly, into AI because I think her kind of career resurgence with what was the time loop one? Why can't I remember the name? Reindeer Games?
Russian Doll.
Reindeer Games. That was the Ben Affleck movie.
Ben Affleck. They're on, right?
That being said, it's the Christmas season, so everyone should watch Reindeer Games with Gary Sinise. Oh, great Gary Sinise performance.
Is that John Frankenheimer? Is that what
John Frankenstein? He's in the movie too.
Wow. Okay, wait. So there's so much I need to catch up on.
Sorry,
By the way, these sound like fake headlines, like Natasha Lyonne to be replaced by Peter Dinklage.
So
I 100% assumed that was a joke.
No. So like
joke.
they tried to frame it as like, well, she's staying on as producer, and this is just the idea of the show is that every 2 seasons we can switch, even though that was never communicated beforehand.
Yeah, it was always the plan. Is the thing where it's like it was always the plan, and it's like, well, you're going to change after every no, we're going to change after every 2 seasons, and you only brought this up now after the end of the 2nd season. Yeah, well, don't know why this is a big deal. Don't know why you're making such a big deal of it. This is just how shows are made.
Yeah.
Don't you guys work in Hollywood?
Natasha Lyonne is leaning super hard into AI, starting AI companies and shit like that. Whereas Ryan Johnson is like, I will fucking die before anyone puts AI in my movies. Which shout out to him. So that might have been a creative, kind of a creative dissolving of their relationship.
It's really tough because I'm already on Ryan Johnson's side.
Sure,
I already will go see his stuff no matter what, and now you're making me like him more. It sucks when someone you like goes down a dark path. The AI path is a stupid path to go down. But listen, something like this worked wonders for Doctor Who. The Doctor regenerating into new actors was not part of the original plan. They wanted to fire the original Doctor, and they said, well, fuck it, he regenerates, he's an alien. And it worked great.
I do love the idea that like Natasha Lyonne should film a scene where she just like bursts into an explosion of light, and Peter Dinklage with no context. Yeah, with no context whatsoever, and it's never meant to be.
Fucking love that. As someone who loves Doctor Who, I would fucking love that.
That would actually be really fun. Perfect.
I think he's having a great year. I think behind like Toxic Avenger, and he's also very good at Roofman as well.
I actually really liked Roofman. They call it Roofman around here.
I like it's like John Ruffman. That's his name.
John Ruffman. MAGA Mix, thank you so much for a 10-pound donor. Regarding Predator 2, Jack flexing in front of the mirror, roaring, "The scorpion is ready." Yeah, that sounds like a Jack move.
It's 100%. No, what I do is I look at myself in the mirror and I go,
I weight lift my Lucasade bottles is how I stay in shape.
Should probably fill it with something.
Nope,
I'm working up to it.
I'm working up to it. Yeah, you gotta have goals. That's for next week.
Yeah, I can have goals.
This is what you're missing. If you're only listening, Darren has been done a lot of prop comedy with a bottle throughout the episode, which has been great.
Here's the really upsetting thing about what we just talked about with Pokerface is I ran into some people after seeing Knives Out last night, and they're Red Letter Media fans, and so they came up to me and just like the stuff, and we were chitter chatting for a little bit, and they had said the only Ryan Johnson movies they had seen were the Knives Out movies. And I was like, oh, great. Yeah, they're really fun. We talked about this one a little bit. It was great. And I was like, oh, if you liked this, check out Pokerface. 2 seasons of Pokerface. It's like Columbo. I love Columbo. So like literally last night, I just recommended Pokerface to people. And now you're telling me Natasha Lyonne is, oh, God damn.
It's a great show. Like that's the thing. It's a great show, and I actually really enjoyed both seasons of it. Right. But I'm also like, this feels unworkable. It also feels like you could maybe create another detective show with Peter Dinklage if you wanted. That could be a thing that you do.
Yeah,
it's just this is such a strange. No, but you have to understand the Pokerface IP is so strong.
I mean, you joke, but I do think on Netflix it would be one of those things like Suits, where it's like it's broke records how many people watched Pokerface season 1 and 2 on Netflix over Christmas break, because it's just a very watchable show.
Yeah.
It just happens to be on Peacock, which I don't think a lot of people have.
Stupid Peacock.
Or people have and then forget, and then sometimes I'm like, is it Paramount or Peacock? Are they the same? They both start with a P. They're both in the same places.
I might have said it was on Paramount Plus. I was like, yeah.
Jack fucking
your friends
lied
now
to us.
Watching lots of Taylor Sheridan.
They spend their last $8 on a month of Paramount Plus because they're like, Jack wouldn't lead us astray.
Jack told us. Yeah, it's like it's got to be here somewhere. And to be honest, it's not even like you can hide it on Paramount Plus because you can find the bottom of Paramount Plus quite quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You get to it, you're like, oh, there's not a lot of stuff on here actually. Thank you so much. Sussy Guru with a €5 dono. Thank you. Have any of you guys watched Bad Guys 2 after seeing both it and Zootopia 2? I think Bad Guys 2 was the better film. I've not seen either of the Bad Guyses.
I have seen the first one. I've not seen the second one. My mum really liked the second one.
Moms
So
love Bad
take
Guys.
that recommendation. Yeah. We were at, like, took her to see, like, again, mum likes big animal movies. So I took her to see the new Jurassic World movie. And she saw the trailer before and it's like, I'm going to watch that. And I'm like, okay, that's like, it's
All right.
like,
Not going to stop you.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at all. But yeah, she liked it. It's very anime influence, actually. Like, it's very visually interesting.
Yeah.
Like, it looks really good. It's from that wave of movies like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, for example. Is another one
that
where,
recent
like,
Ninja Turtles movie kind of,
yeah, where they're like, their computer generated animation is no longer like aspiring towards realism or naturalism as the ideal, which is kind of cool. So it's doing things like embracing anime as an art form. It looks really cool. I will give it that. It is maybe more visually interesting than the Zootopia movies or the Zootropolis movies, depending on your region. You know,
I haven't
for
seen
all the Bono heads out there.
I haven't seen either of the Bad Guys, but I did see the prequel Bad Lieutenant: Port of Call, New Orleans, which is great.
Have you seen Bad Lieutenant?
I've seen the original one with Harvey Keitel.
Okay,
now he's Winnie the Pooh in that movie. Let me tell you something. Harvey the Keitel, absolutely your definition of Winnie the Pooh in that film. He's the everything. Holy moly. Yeah.
I like that you called him Harvey the Keitel, by the way.
Every once in a while I slip in a the. Well, we don't realize maybe their nicknames or maybe their middle names are the. We just don't know it. Quintuple, thank you so much for a $2 dono. Is there traction for Darren to play 12 minutes? Only from his enemies.
Only from
It's something
enemies.
people keep threatening. And I have not like played it or read spoilers about it, so it is possible.
Yeah,
it is one of those, like, everybody's off for a week, or you guys are doing, like, you know, you're doing Adventures Nigh on location next year.
Right.
And it's me and somebody else come in and fill an hour or however long it is. I'm going to guess it takes longer than 12 minutes to play 12 minutes, possibly.
In a single 2-hour stream, Jack, you guys got to the fun of it, though, right?
Yeah. It'll take you about 2 hours to get to the bit that people want you to get to react to.
And the thing is, it needs to be on a stream because it is not something I don't want you to waste your time writing about this or doing anything about this. We just want to get your reaction to what this thing's actually about.
To be clear, in the past, Marty has insisted I write about Night Swim. Just to set the threshold here. Like,
listen, I was testing the Night Swim waters. You were more than happy to dive in and write about it.
I loved it. I am not a victim here, Marty.
I like the one time I've ever been like, Darren, you gotta do this. It was like one January where I'm like, you gotta write about the haunted pool movie. We gotta know what's going on here.
I believe you had framed it as a dare, where it's like, I did one of my, here are my 10 ideas for the week. And you're like, I don't see any Night Swim here. It was like, well, challenge.
So YouTube chat has an auto moderation feature in which, you know, sometimes people will say like provocative words and YouTube will be like, do you want to allow this?
Yeah.
They just prompted us for, do we want to allow, hey, I kind of enjoyed Night Swim.
You can't, none of that. We can't have any flip-floppers, wishy-washies in this Night Swim boat. It wasn't a full-throttled endorsement of Night Swim. That's why it was a little...
Night Swim was one of the great American movies of 2024, Marty, and I think I made a convincing case.
You did make a convincing argument. It's about the American dream. All right.
I didn't say it was a great movie. I said it was a great American movie.
Haunted by pools. R.I.P. America.
Up there with one battle after another. Like, if you want to understand America, you need to watch one battle after another. And Night Swim.
This will explain everything.
I love it.
Peter Parker, thank you so much for a $5 dono. Mentioned that I missed the super chat from earlier that I got, and then said also I like how Ryan Johnson shows predictable beats with unpredictable answers. Eve's Apple and the Crypt Plan, for example. Yeah, that's nice stuff too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you kind of see something, you're like, I understand this is going to be important, but I'm not 100% sure how or why. Like, yeah,
he's really, really good at writing and directing movies.
I think he's really good. I think he's good.
All of them.
That's our hot take.
I think he's really good. My hot take is my least favorite of his movies is Looper. That's my hot take.
Oh,
everyone's got to have a least favorite of their movies, but I think Looper is my least favorite of his. I still like it, but
I think it might be Brothers Bloom, and I really like Brothers Bloom.
See, that's you
but
almost
Jack,
can't go wrong.
Jack should still watch. Yeah, Jack
I
should still
should.
watch.
I still should watch it. Yeah, you know what? And maybe it was just because of the time in which I watched it, but to me, Brick falls really flat.
Did you watch it right when it came out?
It lands like a brick, does it?
I see what you did there.
Say
I
again?
see what you did there. Did you watch it when it came out, or did you come a little bit later? Because I watched it. I was like in college when it came out, and it had a very kind of inspiring, like, oh wow, like on a very small budget in your hometown, you made this like really great genre movie. Like it was almost inspiring to me watching it, of being like, oh, I kind of want to make something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And I watched it a little bit later, like not recently, but just a little bit after, like I saw it on home video. So
yeah,
I don't know. And yeah, it's an early movie, so it's fine. But
yeah,
I'll watch The Brothers Bloom and see if I agree with Darren.
Yeah.
Watching it after Star Wars and being, man, he's really pared down this time. He's really
Why didn't anyone try the Holdo maneuver in this high school to figure out who the drug dealer was?
Right.
Stake of the Garden with the €2 dono. Thank you so much. Reminder, watch Ludwig on BBC. Great cast plus stories. That's been on my QUU for a while, but there's too many things on my QUU.
What is Ludwig on the BBC?
I think it's a mystery.
Oh, it's a mystery show. Oh, it's David Mitchell. Oh, yes, I've heard about this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not to be confused with the Cloud Atlas. It's David Mitchell. We can't talk about the Cloud Atlas again. We talk about the Cloud Atlas almost every episode. We can't do this. I think that's how this got brought up last time, a confusion of the David Mitchells.
Also, every discussion of that Atlas that begins, aside from the racism,
listen,
comma,
as long as you
which
set
is pretty white,
aside the like borderline egregious racism. Great movie. Great movie. 10 out of 10 movie.
One slight qualification.
Yeah, it's one tiny little wrinkle.
Tiny little.
Yeah. And then PT, thank you so much for a $2 dono. We just had a COVID movie, War of the Worlds. This is true.
Oh God!
It wasn't
set
about
in
COVID.
though.
It was just
that's the thing. Like, you could argue Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness is a COVID movie by that metric, because it does feel like it. There are a lot of those, like even the big blockbusters that came out of COVID, where you can feel the sense of these two actors were never in the same physical space. Like Shang-Chi, I think, has a bit of that as well, where you can tell that it's like, oh, they shipped out a green screen background for some of this. So there's a lot of that, to be fair. Oh, The Bubble. The Bubble is a COVID movie. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Which we have forgotten for good.
We have, we've absolutely memory hold that for good reason.
Yes, as we should have.
Lovely. Cool. Making it close to the end. Let's chat about what we've been watching. Jack, you talked about embarking on your early Christmas season viewings.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about those.
I'm always fascinated by the new offerings of holiday-themed rom-coms. They are always trying to, Netflix, Hallmark Channel are always trying to pump out new content to kind of like hope to be, like the song of the summer, right? We want, like, what's the one holiday movie that everyone's going to be talking about this year?
Last year, Hot Frosty luckily, probably was the one last year.
Last year, Hot Frosty, Sexy Snowman, won the season. This year, luckily, I started at the bottom of the barrel. I started with absolutely the worst goddamn movie I have ever seen.
So excited.
Oh. Caveat.
Because you also watch the racist Puppet Master movies.
Because I also watch the racist Puppet. Right. Exactly.
But aside from the racism, comma.
So, to me, obviously, like rom-coms follow a strict formula. They are that way for a reason, because when we watch them, we want to know what's about to happen. We want to feel comfortable watching them. The girl, the guy, or the couple, the meet cute, the downturn, and finally they end up together and everybody's happy. That's what we want with a rom-com. So what I'm really looking for here is interesting premises. What's the hook that's bringing me in? And so I'm going to start with where I started, which is No Sleep Till Christmas.
I already like the name. Already like the name.
Yeah.
A great name. Here's the premise: is two insomniacs find that they can only sleep while next to each other, but One is a slobby, not put together kind of guy, and the other is a stuck up, hoity-toity businesswoman. How are they gonna make this work?
Because they got to Winnie the Pooh. They got to do it without pants and see what happens.
Gotta Winnie the Pooh. And so, like, to me, like, that's an interesting hook. It's an interesting idea. Two insomniacs can only sleep when they are next to each other.
If you'd given me like 5 hours and that title, I never would have hit that premise.
Right. At first, like, with just that title, you think it's maybe like a holiday travel movie. Like, they have to, yeah. But that to me was an interesting enough hook. The remarkable way in which they fuck this up. One, the lead characters have absolutely no chemistry together whatsoever. Very, very upsetting. Two very attractive people who clearly cannot stand each other in real life. A second is they try to mess with the rom-com formula a little too much. So the man is a slob and doesn't have his life together. The girl is got a stick up her butt and is a hoity-toity businesswoman who is also about to be married. She is engaged and going to be married on New Year's Day. So in general standard rom-com formula, the fiance, the fiance that she's about to get married to should be kind of a jerk. Maybe he's cheating on her. Maybe he's the bad guy, and our hero will win her away from him at the end of it. No, he's actually a really nice guy and very supportive of our lead female character. And so we get through this whole movie. Spoiler alert! As it turns out, our heroes, our love interest, are 100% the bad guys and huge assholes the entire movie, and then they end up together. It's really, really bad storytelling, very bad filmmaking, incredibly bad.
Can I just you said that the two leads have no chemistry whatsoever, right? And yeah, okay. I'm just checking the film listing here, and look, I may be wrong, but it does seem like they are Odette Annabelle and Dave Annabelle, which would seem to imply that they are actually a married couple.
Oh no!
Well, unless they cast like brother and sister, which is a weird energy to bring to the movie. But yeah, or they just cast two people with the same name, Annabelle. But yeah, I'm just looking this up. It's like, yep, Odette Annabelle and Dave Annabelle are the two lead actors in No Sleep Till Christmas.
Incredible,
amazing. By the way, her spouse is Dave Annabelle. Yes, her spouse is the lead. Okay, so by the way,
incredible.
So they're great actors, is what you're saying. Like they really sold the idea that these have no sexual chemistry whatsoever.
No sexual chemistry whatsoever. The movie gets weird sometimes. I truly thought that they're so they are platonically like sleeping together, and they do get a fair amount of mileage out of those jokes of like, we're sleeping together, we're doing this together, and people misunderstanding what they are doing together because they are literally sleeping together. They both have slightly tragic backstories. One's the man's father left when he was really young and kind of never really emotionally recovered to that. The girl's father travels a lot and so is never really around. And so I truly thought that the twist at the end was going to be that they were brother and sister, because they never actually slept. They only slept together. They never actually fucked. And I thought, that would be an interesting twist, and that would make sense as to why the fiance is actually a good guy, because she'll end up with him in the end. But no twist. Do not recommend No Sleep Till Christmas. Absolutely, there's no redeeming quality to No Sleep Till Christmas. Now,
what you're saying is do sleep on it.
Yeah, sleep on No Sleep Till Christmas.
I like
no redeeming qualities. Now that brings us to the next one, which ups it to a level of not the worst thing I've ever seen.
All right, now we're getting there.
I Believe in Santa. Now, this is not from this year. I believe this is from last year, but it's when it came up on my Netflix. Here's the premise to I Believe in Santa. A working single mom finds a wonderful new boyfriend, but he has one big problem.
He doesn't believe in Santa.
Still believes in Santa.
Still believes in Santa. Yeah, that's probably that's got to be a deal breaker, right?
Huge red
flag. But certainly a red flag in terms of like other indicators of what's going on.
Listen, I love whimsy and I love a good conspiracy theory. That might be a little like, ooh.
Right. And so like the entire premise of this
Is
rom-com
he
is like
watching
this.
YouTube channels about how Santa's real and we're tracking him, and you can see the footprint? If you look at the maps of the North Pole, yeah,
Oh, he's a Santa truther.
Yeah.
deers don't move like that. Yeah.
So yeah, she hates Christmas. She does not like Christmas. She thinks Christmas is a stupid holiday. He loves Christmas so much. He, as an adult, still genuinely believes in Santa Claus. Now, here's what ruins my next little bit. Is the discovery that we just made for the other movie, because to me my big problem with this movie was the lead actor is very, very clearly a gay man. And is such a terrible actor that he is unable to hide the fact that he's a gay man. And it's a straight relationship. It's a man and a woman relationship, but the lead actor, clearly a gay man. So then I do some digging into the movie, and the movie was actually produced by his husband. And so that's how he,
Aw,
or
that's
I'm sorry,
nice.
the movie was produced by his spouse, is what I should say. Because that ruins my joke a little bit, but the movie was produced by a spouse, so that's why he got into the movie. That's how he got his acting role. But the movie was produced by his real life wife, who is the lead actress of the movie. So now that's 2 holiday rom-coms with married people in the lead roles who have zero chemistry on camera. I'm talking negative chemistry. I spent the entire movie believing that our lead actor was fully a gay man.
Maybe it's like a method thing.
It is.
Like Indy the dog, or
Yeah, like Indy the dog or Daniel Day-Lewis.
It is
2 comparable performers.
Watch I Believe in Santa, and every ounce of any gaydar I have left in my body tells me that is a gay man. But he is married to the lead actress who also produced the movie.
You're getting down some weird rabbit hole niches of Netflix Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Did you accidentally have to toggle on, like, I only want these nepotism castings?
Married couples with no sexual chemistry.
I only want my Paul W.S. Anderson kind of productions here where you just cast your spouses.
Listen, I don't think it's too much to ask to have your leads in a rom-com believably fuck.
Sure, no. Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like when you're in the audition, you kind of have a trump card of, yeah, look at this baby. We have 3 kids. Yeah,
obviously we fucking. It's like, no, I want to see it on camera. And so he is.
Jack, I'm not sure you could say that with HR at the moment.
Jack,
do you have the camera over your shoulder and a little mattress laid out in the corner of the room?
Jack, I looked up John Ducey, who plays the lead in this movie. Scrolled down to see if there was just any fun facts. Ducey's maternal grandfather was the baseball player Johnny Dickshot. One word, Dickshot. And I clicked Johnny Dickshot's profile, and his name was Johnny, and then in quotes, ugly Dickshot. His name was Johnny Ugly Dickshot. He was a Major League Baseball player whose black and white mugshot looks like he was working for Al Capone. This is the man. This is a real human being, Johnny Dickshot. This is this man's grandfather.
Dickshot.
Johnny
this
Ugly
is, by the way, what we're missing when we
Dickshot.
don't have Eric. But yes.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
I did not dig that deep into it. The movie does
having your surname be Dickshot and you still need a nickname?
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
right?
Who are you? Which Dickshot are you talking about? It's like,
oh, the ugly one. Well, it gets even more upsetting because our lead actor does have a guy best friend who he confides in every once in a while, and him and the guy best friend, amazing chemistry.
Sure,
Those two actually fuck. I am 100% sure about that. Like, you see them, they are natural, they are, dare I say, flirty, and then you see him with his real life wife, stiff as a board, light as a feather.
Yeah,
it is.
Stiff as a board is maybe not a problem, if you know what I mean.
not if you're a dick shot.
Let's say, okay, somebody's getting a dick shot.
But
wait, was that the one you fully recommend?
No. This is the
It's like
one.
none of them feel like a recommend so far.
We're working through it.
This is the one that is not the worst. It's
Okay.
like, as far as holiday rom-coms go, like it's serviceable. It
Yeah.
has a holiday message, maybe like very mild religious propaganda.
Yeah.
Like they never go full blown Jesus, but there is a lot of like, hey, I have faith in Santa and blah blah blah. There is a little bit of me in my head. My internal canon is that this lead actor was a little pray the gay away, but I cannot confirm that. That is just in
I
my
like your
own
conspiracy
headcanon.
theories. They're great.
I do want to
These
shout
are
out
my-
in the comments, Mephistophelina has pointed out that that Dick Shot's original last name, this was a correction. Presumably some Ellis Island thing where like they came through. It's like, I can't have one of those ethnic names. You got to have Dick Shot. The actual name is Dixus.
Dixus.
Dixus. Dick sus.
Don't know if
Oh, that
Apparently-
Dick sus.
Originally from Waukegan, Illinois. That's not
Shout
too
out to
far away from
Waukegan,
me.
by the way. Shout out to
That is not
Waukegan.
too far away from me here in
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
They got a Long John Silver.
The Dixuses. So wait, why? Eventually, you're like, listen, no one's going to take me seriously as a baseball player if my last name is Dixus. How about Dick Shot?
Maybe like the
You gotta
term
imagine
dick
there's a
was
producer with like a cigar going, I got it.
like legitimately though, like 100 years ago, was the term dick even a euphemism for penis?
Fair.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I assume.
Like I think the word, like the roots of the word pussy are in a pussy cat, and it wasn't didn't get a connection to vaginas until way down the road.
I've been watching, like, I mean, Deadwood, they use cocksucker. Do they use dick sucker that much? That's
Yeah.
a fair
They also
point.
kill a bunch of
Oh.
horses probably in that show. Yeah.
In any case, I believe in Santa. If you're just looking for some sort of holiday garbage to put on, I can half recommend that because it is a good holiday story. It is a decent rom-com. A lot of holiday imagery, not the worst holiday rom-com I've seen. And then I get to my whole hog recommendation, a movie that is actually
The full Dick Shot.
Full dick
I'm
shot.
gonna go full Dick Shot here and say, like, if you are looking for a good holiday rom-com to watch this holiday season, check out Jingle Bell Heist,
Fuck yeah.
which is
Oh,
a
yeah.
Ocean's 11 style heist movie that's also a holiday rom-com.
This one's brand new.
Featuring-
This is 1 week old.
Yes.
Right out of the oven.
This is one we call featuring
I've had it
Peter
recommended.
Serafinowicz.
Love Peter Serafinowicz.
Yeah. It's a good heist movie, it's a good rom-com, and it's a good holiday movie. It's all the things you want. It's not the First of all, I just want to point this out here because I don't want to seem like a crazy person. I am Ravna says, Jack, just watch the trailer. That man is gay for sure.
Gotta do some digging. Just gotta do
There
some
it
digging.
is. I'm telling you, y'all, I'm telling you. But Jingle Bell Heist, not the great. This will not be part of my regular rotation, but I'll put it above Hot Frosty. This is a solid holiday rom-com. It's also a solid heist movie, and it's also a solid it's a solid holiday, solid rom-com, solid heist movie, all in one. And I believe that the leads actually have sex.
Get out
So-
of town. Impossible.
Yeah.
It's Olivia Holt, who was in Hard Eyes, I believe, as well, and Totally Killer. And stuff.
That's right.
So,
And she
like,
played,
she
Cloak.
is, like,
She played Cloak and or Dagger in Cloak and Dagger. I don't know which one's which.
and Runaways.
she-
Wasn't she in Runaways as well? She was
Neither
Dagger
wa-
in Runaways.
Okay.
Well, she was Dagger in Cloak and Dagger.
Okay, and she also appeared as the voice of Dagger in. Well, she's really milking that. She's really
She's
really into that Dagger. thing.
Dagger will
By the way-
return in Avengers Doomsday.
I did not recognize her from Cloak and Dagger because that was quite a while ago.
Sure.
I really genuinely enjoyed season 1 of Cloak and Dagger. They are comic characters I enjoy, and
Yeah.
I thought they did a neat interpretation.
I thought they were cool
For-
in the Maximum Carnage video game.
Oh, neat.
They are very 90s characters, if I
Uh,
remember correctly.
As someone who loves Christmas movies and loves heist movies, this sounds great.
Yeah,
This is on
Yeah,
Netflix.
it's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's pretty dang good. If you can, I mean, it's schmaltz. You,
But,
you have to be able to deal
I
with
set my bar
rom-coms.
relatively low when I'm kind of like going into the Hallmark movies. Obviously not made
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Hallmark, but you know, the Hallmark movies in spirit.
Yeah,
so.
it's in the lane. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It has all the hallmarks of a Hallmark movie.
I see what you did there. I see
Ah.
exactly what you did there, and I like it.
Because I had a little billboard prepared here.
Yeah. It's like
Red
David,
wine.
I thought it was like David Lynch's billboard of like trying to get what's her name, the Oscar
Lauren
nomination for Inland Empire.
Wow, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna check out Jingle Bell Heist.
Jingle Bell Heist. Recommend.
Have you been watching anything else, Jack? Any TBFs?
Any TBFs? Thanksgiving for me, my tradition is movie marathon all day. We got 5 movies in this Thanksgiving because we skipped the dog show. And apparently I saw the winner of the dog show. I'm glad we skipped it.
There's no Indy.
It's just coming for the canines.
Yeah, this has been how am I the one defending dogs in this episode? Dogs that kill me if I'm in the same room as them.
So K9 out of 10.
I liked it. I like that as well.
We had a surprisingly emotion-filled Thanksgiving. My kids are getting older. They are choosing more interesting and deeper movies. So not my picks for movies. In fact, none of these were my picks. These were all my kids' picks. We started the day. It was like 10 in the morning. We watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's a
Give
hard
us an age
10
range
a.m.
for your
morning.
kids. Like I was gonna say, like just an age range. What
that was picked by my 17-year-old, so which is a
kind of a perfect age for that. Yeah,
it is.
A first viewing.
He's taking a film studies class as a senior in high school, and his teacher has recommended this. His teacher, who is about my age, and I was like, "Yep, that makes sense."
Yeah.
And yeah, we watch that, and it's like, what a way to start a Thanksgiving morning, is just being emotionally wrecked.
like very much antagonistic to the holiday as well. It's like, what if there was something you were not thankful for? You were like the opposite of thankful.
You could remove it from your body like a tumor. Yeah.
Oh, right. So that's how we started the day. Then my 14-year-old, who's really into drumming, wanted to watch Whiplash.
Oh my God. This is
what
where
was
like
morale
noon?
like about like what was morale like about like 1:30 in the afternoon in the Packard household?
Which, by the way, I had not seen Whiplash yet. Phenomenal movie. Phenomenal movie. And so then after Whiplash, we paused for a lunch, and I said, "Y'all, we need something lighter." I don't care what we watch next. It has to be something lighter.
Like the idea of somebody from the family arriving for lunch and just being like, "What's up with you guys?
I brought deviled eggs. Wow, what is happening?"
What is the mood?
That is when my mom showed up to start a puzzle, and all of us were just kind of like staring into the distance, like we're not sure we can put anything together anymore.
You're not matching our tempo, Ma.
We actually did have a running gag for the rest of the day, which was dragging.
Jack
goes up and comes down with like a tight black t-shirt that shows his guns.
What an all-time performance by
incredible performance. Yeah.
No, my 14-year-old who chose that movie, he also plays a lot of the From Software games with me, and so now when like he's playing through Bloodborne right now for his like 3rd time, and whenever I watch him play Bloodborne, I always rushing or dragging his dodges, which is great.
That's really good. That's really good.
He rolls his eyes at me a lot, which is super fun. So then we lightened it up with Christmas Chronicles.
Ooh, this is the Kurt Russell one?
Kurt Russell Santa Claus movie. Yes. Part of the regular Christmas rotation. Then
how do you feel about Christmas Chronicles 2?
Oh, Christmas Chronicles 2, hot garbage.
Oh, okay. Sequelitis.
Then it should have been my pick for a movie, and I was going to have us watch Sisu because I was really excited to watch that one. A little, violent.
A Thanksgiving
different
movie.
tempo.
What am I thankful for? Killing Nazis.
Dead Nazis.
But that's when my oldest girlfriend came to join us for the movie marathon. So I allowed him to have the next 2 picks. So he decided to watch Shawshank Redemption.
So we're looking at like this is probably like 4 p.m. ish. We're looking at.
No, this is like 4 p.m.
Yeah.
which
And
obviously
Shawshank Redemption ends in a happy place.
Yeah.
It's a movie called Redemption. It's not really a spoiler
Yeah.
to say there is a
Yeah.
but like for a solid hour and a half of that, you're in a little bit of a dark place collectively.
this like I love that these and again, none of these were my choices. So I do
Your kids have great taste, but
they have great taste.
I mean, these are honestly bangers.
He had seen the movie and he wanted to share it with his girlfriend, which is great. And like I'm always happy to watch Shawshank. And then we always end on a Christmas movie. And this does roll into my to be fair recommendation. We ended on what might be becoming my absolute favorite Christmas movie of all time, which is also available to watch for free on Tubi, which is Jingle All the Way. The Arnold Schwarzenegger needs to find a Turbo Man doll movie.
That's an all-time.
It's been reclaimed. It's been reclaimed.
I think it's incredibly fun. Probably my favorite Sinbad performance. Speaking of Jake Lloyd.
I love, by the way, that you say like my favorite Sinbad performance.
Yeah.
Like, what's in the pantheon there for you, Marty? Like,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to pull a second Sinbad movie, and I'm having a hard time.
First Kid,
yeah.
First Kid, where he plays the Secret Service agent who wants to protect the president, but gets assigned to the president's kid.
Okay, I did see. No, I haven't seen that, but I did see he was apparently in Coneheads. I saw Coneheads. I saw Good Burger.
Yep,
that's it.
Yeah.
Those are the only movies I've seen. Oh, he was really good in that one episode of Atlanta where he played himself.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yes.
So yeah, that was
Liam Neeson effect. Yeah.
That was a family. That was family movie marathon day, and it was an all timer.
I'm really glad you chose these movies instead of. It probably would have been thematically more important to fill the first three movies in, like those Christmas movies. That would have been more like a thematically fitting one. But that would have been like, especially the first two would have been like, oh, this movie marathon is probably gonna fucking suck. As opposed to being like, oh, Eternal Sunshine and then Whiplash. Oh, this is arguably the greatest, if not like poorly timed movie marathon ever.
Like, and by the way, like, I think it's okay to just like start the day openly weeping. Yeah. I think
sure. Yeah,
it does feel like you're like just 1 or 2 years away from your eldest being like, so Come and See is going to be the Thanksgiving movie this year. We're going to watch this like gritty, grim Soviet anti-war masterpiece.
Yeah.
We're thinking Shoah might like really warm up the crowd in the afternoon.
Girlfriend's coming over. We got to put on Sallow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's great.
Movie marathons are going to get weirder and weirder the older they get.
Yeah. But incredible. Like, and it's so cool to have like a family that is like that, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I enjoy it.
So you said Jingle All the Way, you said is a segue into To Be Fair. Was this on Tubi or is there a link to
Jingle All the Way? Jingle All the Way is available on Tubi. So Beautiful. Jingle All the Way is my To Be Fair.
Yeah, that's
right next to Jingle All the Way on the Tubi page is How the Gringo Stole Christmas.
That sounds like a Mel Gibson movie.
Yeah, starring George Lopez.
Ooh.
So
okay.
I don't know anything about that movie, but it's right next to Jingle All the Way.
Sure. The big two. Call them the big two, honestly.
Yeah, the big two.
Incredible. Anything else from you, Jack?
There I could fit no more if I tried.
There you go. Darren, what have you been watching lately?
A whole bunch of stuff just to run through stuff that is like currently in cinemas. Pillion, which is the Dom and Sub rom-com with Harry Melling and Alexander Skarsgård, which is like incredibly graphic, like gay BDSM movie that is also incredibly sweet. Like it is the story of it is like so wholesome and so charming and so sweet. We were talking about like rom-coms earlier. This is very much a rom-com. Yeah. It's a story of like a young man who's, he's young and he's gay, but he's in his first like proper serious relationship and he's dealing with this big hulking leather-bound biker played by Alexander Skarsgård. And obviously it is, as mentioned, like a really graphic BDSM like relationship, but it is also like incredibly sweet. And it is like, as somebody who has, I'm going to put my hands up and say, never been in a BDSM relationship with a large leather-bound biker who looks like Alexander Skarsgård. Just to be specific in my denial here.
Nice.
But an incredibly sweet movie about like your first relationship as a younger person, like about having a serious relationship with somebody and figuring out like what you want and what they want, and how what you want may or may not be compatible with what they want, in obviously the most extreme sense imaginable, but really sweet, really tender, really charming. And the two leads are absolutely incredible. And I like found myself smiling and grinning throughout, which is not necessarily kind of what I expected. Really charming movie. Very light, very like a very enjoyable, very kind of confectionery-esque kind of movie. Other thing I saw.
Oh wait, really quick. Looking this up, this has already won a lot of awards at different film festivals, including at the Cannes Film Festival. It won the Palm Dog for best dogs in a movie. Hippo and Rosie.
Yeah, because they meet when they're walking dogs. The thing they do is they walk dogs together.
Apparently, the best dogs in movies. These people didn't see
good.
These people didn't see Good Boy though. Clearly, they didn't screen that at Cannes. At the Cannes Film Festival.
But also, it took 2 dogs to win that prize. You know, I mean, like, you add them up, and they add up to roughly one indie.
Yeah.
But yeah, really charming, really sweet. I think it is maybe a little bit light, in that like it is very careful to avoid getting heavy or being sensational or being exploitative, which I understand given the source material. But there are moments when I'm like, I feel like you could maybe push this a little bit into somewhere like that would be a bit kind of edgier or more challenging.
Sure.
But like just it's a weird. It's the S&M movie I could show my gran, which is very strange.
There you go.
To say.
That's perfect.
Other thing I saw that's still in cinemas is Keeper, the Osgood Perkins movie. I am very fond of like Osgood Perkins, like recent populist horrors, Longlegs and The Monkey. This is much more in the style of like his earlier stuff, like The Black Coat's Daughter and stuff like that, where it is kind of this abstract, mostly vibes, mostly atmosphere horror, starring Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black. She's incredible, and obviously she's incredible here. It is maybe a little bit on the nose in that it is a story about what it is to be a keeper and what that implies in terms of how people treat women and how women are perceived in relationships and all this sort of stuff. It is also, like every movie from Osgood Perkins, very much a film that you can filter through his own personal experience of his mother's relationship to his father, where his mother was married to a man who was gay, who had this entire other life that was separate from her, and kind of like the havoc that played with her psychologically and with the family as a result. I found it like decent. It's well made, as it's an Osgood Perkins movie. It looks great. It has great vibes, wonderful sound design, really great central performance. I think maybe the metaphor is stretched just a little bit. Maybe it is just a little bit too abstract. There is a sense of he's made 3 movies in the past 18 months, and I'm like, maybe he could slow down and like let this one cook just a little bit more. But I really liked it. What I did not like, unfortunately, sorry Marty, is Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the 3rd film in the Now You See Me franchise.
I refuse to believe it.
Which is one of the, like, again, and it is a difficult film to critique because the problems with this movie are largely the same problems with the first 2 Now You See Me movies. And there is a certain point where, like, is this a bug or is this a feature? Like, is the audience for Now You See Me 3 showing up expecting a better product than Now You See Me or Now You See Me 2? Where, like, I love magic. I am very fond of magic. I love like The Prestige, The Illusionist, and like the idea of magic heists are great fun because it's all sleight of hand and it's a great metaphor for filmmaking. The problem is the characters in the Now You See Me movies are not magicians, they are wizards. And like so much of like the magic of magic, which is like sleight of hand and special effects and doing things in camera, is like lost in these movies, which are all done via like CGI and editing and cuts and all make no sense whatsoever. It is an interesting movie because we mentioned earlier the idea of like COVID movies that aren't COVID movies, where you can feel movies that were made with actors that were not on set at the same time. Now You See Me, Now You Don't is an incredible movie where it seems like the only actor who was present for more than half of the filming days, God bless his cotton socks, was Jesse Eisenberg. No other actor in the movie was present for more than half of the filming days, including the scenes they shot with other actors. To the point where, like, slight spoiler for the movie, but not really because it's the opening 10 minutes. The opening 10 minutes of this movie is about how it's a magic show featuring the 4 horsemen, the 4 central characters of the movie, Isla Fisher, Dave Franco, Woody Harrelson, and Jesse Eisenberg, performing their first reunion concert in a decade, like very consciously tapping into the nostalgia that exists for the Now You See Me movies, which is something I am too old to understand, but based on the box office performance, absolutely exists. But the entire build and reveal of that scene is that none of the characters are in the same physical space at the same time. And it feels like the movie going, yeah, this is how we did it.
Yeah.
It's like we shipped a green screen out to Woody Harrelson and he gave us about like a week and a half of his time. And whatever we had, we stitched in the movie. It is not great. I will say, Rosamund Pike is having great fun doing
Love
a South
Rosamund
African
Pike.
accent.
South
And,
African
like,
accent. Oh no.
proper diplomatic immunity, like level fun. Like the great thing about like South African accents is because of the history of South Africa, nobody feels guilty about like mangling a South African accent. There's no sensitivity. Like it's not like, oh, we need to be culturally sensitive about the South African accent. So as a result, like Rosamund Pike can just go whole hog. But yeah, not a good movie at all. Movie that I did see and did enjoy and want to shout out is Eternity, which is the new A24 movie from David Frayne, starring Elizabeth Olsen, Callum Turner, who is another one of those. Seems like he should have been Taylor Swift's boyfriend, even if he wasn't, and Miles Teller, in which it's a story about like the afterlife. Basically, the character played by Elizabeth Olsen dies and goes to heaven, or goes to a place where she has to decide where to spend her eternity. Waiting for her is her husband of 65 years, played by Miles Teller, but also her first husband, who died when they were very young, played by Callum Turner. And she has to decide.
That's tough.
It's incredible. It's a really good pitch for like a rom-com, and it's handled really well. And it is like this really sweet. Again, I'm a sucker for a magical romance movie about magical doors, where it's like Darren loves the fucking Adjustment Bureau. Darren loves the Big Bold Beautiful Journey. You put people in an Ernest Saccharin movie with magic doors, and Darren's like, I will eat that shit up.
Yeah.
But so I'm all over. Yeah, I'm all over Eternity. But it's really charming. It's really sweet. It's really funny. It's got this like incredibly game cast to it. Obviously, without getting too into spoilers, there are very obvious solutions to this problem that the movie does not present, because it is still a rom-com aimed at my grandmother, where it's like, at no point is it seriously considered that the three of them could go like live in a throuple in some eternity and be happily ever after. It has to be a decision, and she has to make it between one of the two men. But it is a very charming, very sweet movie with 3 great performances at its core. If you are a fan of romances, if you do like something a little bit saccharine, a little bit sweet, have a really good time with it. And I also like really love how committed it is to the rom-com premise. Jack mentioned the idea of like subverting or deconstructing the rom-com. Eternity like really leans into the rom-com tropes to the point where like it manages to have a race through what is effectively an airport lobby at its climax, despite being a movie about the eternity and the afterlife and like what life is after death. And I was just sitting there watching it going, this is kind of incredible. I love how committed this is to the
They better kiss at the end, unlike fucking Twisters.
Not a rom-com. Not a rom-com.
It would be really charming if like at the end she's like, I picked one of you, but as a friend. Like after it's like all of that.
We're in the afterlife. I want to play the field. I got my young body back. I want to see what's going on out there.
Yeah. I had a really, really good time with that. In terms of other stuff, Blue Moon, which is, I believe, currently on video on demand. It's in cinemas internationally. That's the Richard Linklater movie. The movie he made alongside his Francois Truffaut Nouvelle Vague movie. This is the one that is just a showcase for Ethan Hawke. Like where Ethan Hawke like clearly wants to play this role, and like Linklater's like, yeah, sure, we're buddies, I'll film it. Where it is the story of like the other guy, the guy who was like partner with Rogers before Rogers met Hammerstein and before the production of Oklahoma. And so it becomes this story of like this guy who is on the cusp of greatness, this great songwriter who was partnered with a guy who would go on to become one of the great songwriting duos in American theatrical history, but like just missed the train by inches. Where it's like he was in this long, lucrative partnership, which was well received, but the moment that his partner broke with him and joined up in another partnership, that person's career just skyrocketed, leaving him behind. It is a very sweet movie, a very charming movie. It is a single location movie where most of it takes place in a bar on the opening night of Oklahoma. And it all takes place in the lobby of the bar or in like the middle set of the stairs of the bar as characters come in and out and have conversations. It could very easily be a stage show. And I will say my big problem with the movie is that for some reason, Richard Linklater chooses to shoot Ethan Hawke like he's a hobbit in The Lord of the Rings, where like, it's like the character is short and the historical character was short and his shortness was something that bothered him psychologically. But it really does feel like he's shooting a Lord of the Rings movie with trick photography, where like there's a scene of Ethan Hawke like sitting himself up on a bar stool, and it's like it if you were really that short, it does not take you that much effort because you've been in a bar stool before.
Yeah.
But it is incredibly charming. It's very funny. It's very wry, very character driven, and a good showcase for Hulk. So I had a good time. Would recommend it. Wouldn't rush out to see it. Otherwise, but I mean, look, there's a lot of things here. We haven't talked about Wicked for Good. And I'm part of me is like, do we want to talk about Wicked for Good? Obviously the massive sequel to Wicked, but I will say, not a good movie. Fascinating movie. Deeply, deeply in the same way that like It Chapter 2 is a fascinating movie where, like It Chapter 1, the first Wicked does the thing of like, well, we have made choices in making this first movie that will make this first movie a massive success, which is that we've taken out all the difficult stuff, we put in all the easy stuff, all the stuff that people like is in this movie. It's very accessible, it's very straightforward. You could just watch this movie on its own and have a great time with it. And it's like, what about all the other stuff you took out? It's like, that's tomorrow's problem. We don't have to worry about that right now. We're like where It Chapter 1 obviously takes out all the adult stuff, and then that means that you have to make an entire movie of the adult stuff, which makes your first movie at the kids great, because that's a really great movie on its own terms, but just the adult stuff is a hard sell as a movie. And here with Wicked, it's like, yep, this is the movie that stands on its own. You can go from watching the first Wicked into watching The Wizard of Oz, and you lose absolutely nothing. And the first Wicked ends with Defying Gravity, which I think we joked is like a cheat code. It's like,
sure,
if your movie ends with Defying Gravity, you get an extra star by default. It's like if The Running Man had ended with Josh Brolin saying, and we had the guys in post work this up, and it just cuts to like Glenn Powell singing Defying Gravity as he flies the plane into the tall tower building. That's a 4-star movie.
Yeah.
It's 5 stars if you get like sort of Coleman Domingo to like come in on duet on it. But there is a sense of like every choice they made with the first part of Wicked, which made that movie successful and made it like enjoyable for audiences, made Wicked for Good harder for them. Where Wicked for Good is half a movie, but it is half a movie in 2 different ways. Where it is a movie that does not make sense without the original Wicked, but it also does not make sense without The Wizard of Oz. It is like a quarter of a movie, which is kind of statistically incredible. And having to do that, and having to like take what is already a very short and compressed act, because the second act of Wicked is shorter, the second act of Wicked is less substantive, and having to pad that out so that it is as long as the first Wicked movie, that it feels as quote-unquote important as the first Wicked movie, that it has as much action and spectacle and character as the first Wicked movie, which is the first 2/3 of the play, is like a really interesting Mad Libs game that doesn't work. Like, it is an unworkable movie. I don't think there is a way to make this good, but I will admit, I found it fascinating. I watched it and I was like, this is watching you try to make a stew from the ingredients that you yourself have chosen. It's like you gave yourself this. It's like you set this challenge for yourself. It's not as if you were handed this and had to deal with it. It's like, no, you decided to split the movie.
Yeah, you could have made a single 2.5-hour movie, 3-hour movie.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and you could just have not done. You could have just cut off and like gone straight into The Wizard of Oz or whatever. But you chose to do this way. And watching it is fascinating. It doesn't work, but it is so fascinating because it's like every decision that is made is like, well, we have to force our way into this cul-de-sac because if we don't, there's no movie. And it is like just such a mess of contradictions where like it makes so many small mistakes that are like, the whole point of the second act of Wicked is that like Elphaba is this mythological figure who has no control of her own narrative and has stories told about her. You can't do that if you open with a big Marvel action sequence like the movie wants to do and show that she is in complete control of her narrative. Without getting too into spoilers, like you can't add a sequence in the middle of this movie where she tells all the animals not to leave Oz, not to run off into the desert, not to disappear and give up. If her character arc, slight spoiler for the musical, maybe ends with her being open to the possibility of doing those things. It is such a strange movie in the way that it's pulled. And yet, like, despite that, I do find it fascinating. Like, there are parts of it I like. I think Jeff Goldblum is very good. I think the closest the movie comes to working is when, like, Jeff Goldblum is singing in inverted commas, because it is the point where the movie feels most intimate. It feels like least auto-tuned and least produced. And I will say, like, there are parts of it that are fascinating, like the the sheer lack of camp for a movie that is like based on The Wizard of Oz and derived from a heavily camp musical. Where have you seen this, Marty?
I did, yeah.
Okay, where like there are points in this movie where for the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Lion, the movie kind of becomes like A Little Life, but for the Wizard of Oz, where it's like these characters become like really tragic, grotesque figures with horrible traumas in their lives. And what happens to them is agony and torture and like distended and grotesque and horrible and tragic. And you're like, I don't know how I reconcile that with because of the wonderful things he does.
Yeah, I don't think you need to do this. Yeah.
Yeah. But because they have to fill the space, they lean even harder into that stuff. Because obviously that stuff is in the musical, but in the musical it's camp and silly, and it's like done in shadow and silhouette in the style of The Wizard of Oz. But here instead you're doing it in like monochrome, desaturated, slow motion. People are screaming and bodies are bending, and you're like, I don't know if this works in the context that you're trying to put it in. I, again, found it fascinating. I don't think it's good, but I do think it's very interesting. And
I do think these movies are fascinating because of how in theater, how ugly they are. And then when you see any behind the scenes photo, you're like, so much work was put into these amazing costumes and sets, and they just fucked them all up because of how they shot these movies, how they lit these movies, how the color grading worked on these movies. Like they showed those close-up shots of the makeup of the Scarecrow makeup. And it is some of the most astounding makeup you will ever see in your life. And it looks like garbage in the movie.
You see it on screen and you think it's like a CGI render that was done over a weekend while somebody held a gun to an intern's head.
Yeah.
Like it is so surreal.
And then you see the actual craftsmanship behind it. You're like, oh, this is like award-winning, phenomenal.
Like the yellow brick road kind of looks like faded dusk kind of. And then you see the actual, you say, photos for the sets that they built. Actual sets. They built actual sets. And it looks like The Wizard of Oz. Like this is the thing where it's like, is Wicked fundamentally unadaptable to film? Because like the way that like Wicked worked when it was on stage, and I say when, it still is on stage. When it's on stage, is what is done on stage looks like The Wizard of Oz from 1939. Because like it's that same technique. It's the matte paintings, it's the backdrops, it's the physical props, it's the makeup, it's the prosthetics. It's an embrace of theatricality, right? That now is what we expect from stage. And you can't do that in cinema anymore. And it is kind of interesting to think about like Wicked as Salman Rushdie's argument at like the 1939 Wizard of Oz is that it is the authorless text. It is the product of like the sheer unrestrained studio id of the 1930s, where it's the work of numerous directors cycling in, executing the vision of the studio as a whole. And in the 1930s, that produces The Wizard of Oz, which is, to be clear, like a work of exploitation. Judy Garland suffered terribly on it. Like all the actors who were involved have talked about how unpleasant it was, but it is gorgeous and it looks beautiful and it's incredibly well produced. And there's a sense of like watching Wicked. And it's like, this is what that looks like today. This is what it looks like if you just let a studio do what it wants to do. If the machinery just works at the top of its ability at maximum power, this is what you end up with. And it's such an interesting compare and contrast. Sorry for talking so much about Wicked in this discussion.
I mean, it is theoretically, it's the movie we should have been talking about because it is the hot new movie that is going to make billions of dollars at the box office. I still haven't seen the first one and just don't care. So
see it on stage. If you haven't seen it, it's an incredible. I love the musical so much. I love the musical so much.
I do need to leave. We are at 2:45. So we are now. We don't have Eric to show the stock imagery of my children being waiting to be picked up from school, but we are at that point, by the way.
Sorry. All right.
Wow, Darren's in the corner. It's like you like yelled at your dog. You yelled at your dog, and he's in the corner, all scared.
I'm not yelling.
I'm guilty. I'm not scared. I'm guilty. I'm feeling bad.
Because here's the fun part. I can just leave and you two can keep talking. It'll be great.
Oh, I don't have any. I like
that you're implying that Marty could somehow make it work so that like it could work with two screens.
Ooh, just leave the house and just leave his screen on. It's fine.
Just leave. I'll just leave my camera.
Yeah,
leave my camera on.
Sub the dog in. Yes.
Marty, would you prefer that? Me just leave my camera on?
We should end. I think
I didn't have any. I literally watched football in the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things, so I don't need to talk about this.
Okay, great.
So there you go. There's the end of the show. Incredible. Jack, what should folks check out?
I see people asking for it. So the Jack and Jenna stream will be next week Tuesday. It's my streams with Jenna will be every other Tuesday because then I don't have to pick up. Those are weeks that I don't need to pick up my kids from school.
And plus, you go to the stream fresh. Like you don't want you rolling into a Jenna stream after 2.5 hours of this bullshit.
But you should know, I did buy more balloons and I have been practicing. I will make balloon animals next week Tuesday. I promise.
Jenna wondering why you're talking so much about Wicked, but
yeah.
But Thursday, Jess and I will continue our Dark Souls 3 stream. That's the plan for now. Keep your eye out for a new D&D thing that's coming up. So that's really exciting. And that's what I'm working on.
Damn, Dungeons and Dragons.
And or Dragons.
And in this economy.
In this economy of all economies. Darren, what do you have going on? You just had a new backdrop. Your longest? Close to your longest? Your longest?
An unforgivably long, backdrop on the Predator series, which was not a passive-aggressive subtweet of Jack. I was already halfway through it when we were talking about it last week, and Jack was like, Badlands doesn't really feel like a Predator movie. And I was sitting there going, oh shit, this now feels passive-aggressive that I made a 50-minute video about
great.
Badlands. Yeah.
I because that's the conversation, and I love it. I love it.
But no, it was meant to be released last week. There were some complications around it, so it's out this week. I'm very proud of it. It is a long one. They won't all be that long. We're going to get back to regular length shortly, but it is something that has been percolating in my consciousness a while. It's one of those things where you watch it, you're like, he has thought far too much about this, and now I'm going to have to listen to it. But I hope it's good. I'm proud of it. It's something I put a lot into, and I hope people like it, basically.
Nice.
There you go. And then, for the rest of the week, should be normal streams. No more streams this afternoon. I also won't be streaming this evening. I have a couple doctor's appointments I need to go to. But we should have normal streams the rest of the week with Yahtzee should be back tomorrow. We should be doing more Bond tomorrow night. Firelink, Jack's stream with Jess that he mentioned. And then, we have one more episode of this before the end of the year. So we'll do 2 weeks from today. That'll be our last episode of 2025. And we'll try to work something out with Darren. I know we said maybe if we could work something out around the holidays, Darren, when you have off to join us for the next Patreon movie night, if we could kind of schedule something around your schedule, you could pick the movie. I think that'd be great. We had a lot of fun on last week's one. So, hell yeah.
Okay.
So thank you all so much. Thanks everyone who super chatted, all of the patrons, anyone listening, and of course everyone's watching. Thanks to Eric, not producing, but hope you feel better. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Darren. This was Marty. This was episode number 35. You're all great, and we'll see y'all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.